Starting with deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. The slower, the deeper. Working on slowing down your mind. Some of you wake up with so much on your mind first thing in the morning. Getting clear on how you feel so that you don't project those feelings on other people. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale. Relaxing your mind, relaxing your body. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. Slow down your mind. Even if you just have 5 minutes to dedicate back to yourself before you go out into your busy day, you deserve at least 5 minutes. You can use this time to journal and set some intentions for the day. You can use this time to continue laying in bed, closing your eyes and taking deep conscious breaths while repeating some affirmations for the day. How do you want to feel? How do you want to show up today? Maybe the question is, how can you be more authentic today? How can you be more yourself? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And I want you to notice where you are still carrying some tension in your body. It's quite early for many of us, and so I want you to start to become more aware of how you're waking up. Are you waking up super tense first thing in the morning? And if you are, why? Why? Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes and your eyelids. Relax your nose. Relax your mouth and let your lips just be. And if you're clenching your jaw, relax, let go. If your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, let it go. Relax your neck. It's always so tense. Relax your neck. And relax your shoulders. Your shoulders are up here. Let them fall. Let them fall away from your ears. Relax your abdomen, your belly. You always are flexing your abs. Just let your belly be. Relax your hips. You are always so tight in your hips. Relax. And the muscles in your thighs and your legs soften, just relax. Why are you so tense? And your calves and your ankles, just let them be. Let your feet fall however they want to. And your toes, your fingers. Let your hands just be. If you're balling up your fists or flexing super hard, notice that. Notice. This is about being present with yourself, not running away from yourself, not trying to suppress. So if you feel like you need a good cry this rising, give yourself permission to cry if that's what your body needs. If your mind is racing and you woke up feeling really anxious, take a second to take some deep breaths and then ask yourself, why? Why are you so anxious? Take some deep breaths and relax. forgot y'all were here. I was just building something in my head. Grand rising, you guys. If this is your first time on my live, welcome, welcome. You are in for a treat, and clearly there is a message here for you, whether it was just that you need to start slowing down and that you need to start your day in more peace and harmony. And I would also say that not being on your phone the first part of the day is awesome, but if you're going to be on your phone, at least be doing something intentional and mindful and something that is going to start your day in more peace. And yeah, we're going to be doing these sound healings every single rising, Monday through Thursday at 6:30 a.m. And then we go into our daily coaching. So like I said, if the music wasn't your vibe, or you're not wanting to slow down right now, or you're having a hard time slowing down right now, there's probably going to be some messages in the next couple hours. I will be here until around 10 a.m., 10:30 Eastern. So we go through quite a bit of messages and different confirmations and advice and truth. That is the main thing that we're going to talk about on here, is the truth. And a lot of you guys are up and you're here and you want to better your life, and you know that you're ready to step into this next chapter, but you also know that there's versions of yourself and certain things that cannot come with you. Elevation requires some separation, and when we say that, sometimes we just think about people, because I know a lot of you guys have been given the guidance that it's time to separate from certain people in order for you to get where you are wanting to go. And that has been really daunting, and that has been really hard, because you love these people. It's not that you don't like them, but you are coming to terms the compatibility, and maybe it has shifted, and maybe because you have shifted so much that the things that you need and the things that you want and the things that you desire out of your relationships are shifting. And instead of trying to fight and fight tooth and nail to get someone to change and be who you want them to be, you realize that you need to change, and that not everyone is going to be able to come with you, and that just because you've had your spiritual awakening does not mean that everyone is having a spiritual awakening simultaneously. We all wake up at different times, and there is a point to the journey where you have to just focus on yourself and surrender and let it go and stop trying to force things for once. You don't want things to be forced anymore. But when we say that elevation requires separation, like I said, it's not just people. You know that elevation requires separation from your past self, addictions, thoughts, ideologies, beliefs, lack of discipline, whatever it is that you know is holding you back. It's not just people that you have to separate. It is versions of yourself that you know are no longer serving you, but you are so having a hard time letting them go. You're having a hard time letting these versions of you go. You're mourning them. Hi, Kira. Mourning them. And every time you try to rationalize how you can keep these certain parts and still do what you need to do, you are always met with the same confirmation and conclusion. I need to do this thing, whatever it is. And it's different for all of us. For some of you, it's leaving a toxic relationship. For some of you, it's starting to take your career more seriously and recognize that what you're doing right now in this 9-to-5 is not sustainable. And so, since we know that it's not sustainable, and we know that this is not what we want to do for the rest of our lives, then why are we not focused on figuring out what the next steps are? Why are we becoming so comfortable and complacent in our discomfort? The discomfort is not for us to become complacent and comfortable in. The discomfort that we're feeling is supposed to be the catalyst for us to change, because humans do not like being in discomfort for so long. And a lot of you have been uncomfortable for a very long time, but because you've been so detached from your mind and body, you didn't even really feel how upset you were. You haven't even really felt how sad you are until recently. This is why you feel like all of a sudden you're depressed. This is why you feel like all of a sudden you're just angry and you have zero tolerance. This is why you feel like you can't stop crying and you don't know why every little thing makes you so emotional. And if for my women out there, for people who menstruate, I'm here to tell you that it's not just your period. I know we love to say, oh gosh, okay, I'm 5 days out. Must be what it is. Newsflash, you're sensitive all the time, every single day. But your cycle just forces you to bring it out even more because of the drop in your hormones. You can't fake the funk. That's all, and you're not supposed to. And your cycle is actually such a sacred portal that we go into every single month to really feel. But we've been so conditioned to be inconvenienced by our bodies. We've been so conditioned to feel like this is just such a chore and I hate it. But for me, I've changed that around. This is a time where I really honor myself, where I really slow down without feeling bad, where I allow myself to just process and shed, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I use it as a time to go inward and close the blinds and allow myself to be in the darkness if that's what I feel. I use it for the time to be in solitude and really collect my thoughts and get honest about how I'm really feeling, since my body is not as high vibe to be able to fake the funk, because I don't want to fake the funk anymore. And whether you have a period or not, you shouldn't want to fake the funk either. You shouldn't want to be anything or anyone but yourself. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with who you are and how you think? Why is it automatically wrong just because it's different from the collective? Why is it automatically wrong just because it's different from your family? Have you ever maybe thought about their perspective and maybe they need to make some changes? Hi, Barb. Why is it always you? And why do you need to be right? And why do you need to be wrong? Why can't it just be how you feel? Why can't it just be your perspective? Why do we need to prove it to anyone? Why can't we just feel it for ourselves and stand in whatever it is that we feel? Unapologetically. Even if it's the unpopular opinion. Why can't we just be unpopular? Why do we have to be popular? Why is it so important that so many people like you? Why is it so important that you get along with everyone? Why is this something that matters to you so much? More than being yourself. Why do you believe that you have to be somebody that you're not in order to receive love? And why do you have a hard time loving the parts of yourself that you feel ashamed of? Why do you have a hard time talking about the things that you've done that bring you shame? Why do you always have to live in the darkness? These are a lot of questions that we need to start asking ourselves, because we are just normalizing toxic behavior every single day within ourselves. Normalizing suffering in silence, normalizing having zero boundaries, normalizing jumping through hoops, normalizing being so desperate to be chosen that we do things that we know are not right for us, that we choose people that we know are not the ones and that are not where we're trying to go, but because we just don't want to be alone and we want to be chosen so badly that we settle and we lie to ourselves and we say that we don't need this and we don't need that and maybe this and maybe that, when we know that we are abandoning ourselves and we know that we are betraying ourselves. And we know it. And we don't want to own it because it's not sexy, it's not attractive to walk around saying, yeah, I don't think that much of myself and I don't think that I'm really that deserving of what I truly desire, so I continue to settle. I continue to attract people that are not emotionally available because there's a big part of me that's not either. Even though I walk around telling myself that I'm an open book, I'm only open the first couple pages because I haven't even gone deep into the chapters myself, let alone feeling confident enough to be vulnerable with these parts that I've never even been vulnerable with myself, with someone else. I'm cosplaying what I think a relationship should be like, but really I'm anxious and I'm avoiding and I'm not being real with myself and I'm overcompensating in so many other other ways just to hide the fact that I really don't feel safe emotionally. And maybe it's not because the person is not an emotionally safe person. I don't feel safe within myself. I don't even accept myself. So why would I even fathom that this person that I'm trying to get to choose me would accept these parts of me? No, I need to play a role. I need to play a character. I need to continue wearing this mask at least until the person is emotionally invested enough to deal with my bad behavior, or so I think. So I think. Because I'm willing to put up with theirs. I'm willing to bend my needs. I'm willing to not set boundaries. And then when it comes time where I need someone to be gracious with me, this person is not able to, and they end up leaving because they see me have all these outbursts, and they see me be super emotional, and they see the sides of me that I try to shut down, that create this self-fulfilling prophecy that I am always going to be abandoned, that I am never going to be enough. And so then when that self-fulfilling prophecy comes out and I finally show the shadows and I cannot fake the funk anymore, and the anger and the insecurities and the crazy thoughts that I've been thinking and harboring and suppressing in the relationship because I'm trying to keep it cool, they start to come out. All of a sudden the person's not as attracted to me anymore because this person, remember, was emotionally unavailable. And now you want to talk about all the things that you were okay with not talking about 6 months ago. And I don't like that. This is not who I am. And you knew that this wasn't who I was from the beginning, but you overlooked it and you tolerated it, and you convinced yourself that you were okay with not having deep conversations, and you convinced yourself that you were okay with being overlooked and being cheated on and being whatever it is that you said. But now you're not, and now you're upset that the person doesn't really love the real you, because the real you has standards, and the real you doesn't want to settle, and the real you wants to feel safe, and the real you wants to grow, and the real you wants to heal. But you weren't showing that version of you. You were mirroring the person that you had in front of you who did not want those things, and you pretended that you did not want those things either. But as you started to grow, and as you started to become more attached and have more feelings with this person, you realize that you can't lie like this forever, and that you don't want to, and that you shouldn't have to. But the problem is that you built the foundation with this person on a foundation of lies, whether it was subconscious or conscious, whether you were aware of it or not. So now you can't just automatically expect that this person is just wanting to go deep with you when you felt it from the beginning that they didn't. And that's what happens in a lot of these relationships. One person gets hurt so badly that it forces them to wake up, but the other person may not be ready to wake up at the same capacity. And then the person, because they have abandonment wounds, and because they have fears of being alone, and because they have rejection dysphoria, they do everything in their power to try to force the person to be where they're at right now, instead of recognizing that we are on 2 separate pages, 2 separate books, and maybe we need to spend some time apart. We try to force them. And then we recognize how much resentment that we have for trying to force them. And then we recognize that resentment is actually towards ourselves for the way that we tolerated the abuse all this time, trying to force our love onto someone, force someone to see something that they don't want to see, that they're not ready to see, that they're not aware enough to see. And so we stay in cycles of suffering because we avoid the truth in our hearts. And then the truth is maybe this is not right, or maybe we need to walk away. And it's not always that situation. I do believe that 2 people can grow together, even if it's not super equal, even if it's not at the same pace. It's just the fact of what you're willing to put up with, how you feel. It doesn't matter what I say you could do or could happen. It matters how it makes you feel. It matters how dysregulated you are. It matters if it's going fast enough for you. Can you live in this anxious state every single day until the person wakes up? Can you live without getting certain needs and boundaries respected until the person wakes up and realizes certain things? This is all in your court. And you give them so much power, saying that if they would do this and if they would do that, then I could do this. No, they are who they are right now. And what you're saying is that you're not really happy with that, but you don't want to say it out loud because then it makes it more real. So that you could try to push, you continue to push, you continue to jump through hoops, you continue to try to get them to be what you need them to be because you don't want to do what you need to do. And again, you build resentment because they're not healing on your terms. That was for someone, but that was also what happened to me. That was my story from 2021. That was my story from a lot of the relationships that I was in. So I'm just sharing to see if anyone relates, if anyone can resonate with that headspace when it comes to the way that we lie to ourselves and the way that we convince ourselves of certain things that are not really there, and the way that we see things that we want to see. And we, until we take those rose-colored glasses off, it can be really illusion. It can be a big illusion. Let me see if my sweater, I'm chilly. A girl's chilly. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get my knee. Ooh. It's cold in here. Ooh. Oh, much better. Much better. I'm like, nah, I can't deliver these. I can't deliver these messages when it's cold. Let me put on my light for a second. Hi, hello. It's me. Now you can see me. This is what I look like when it's not red light. Much better. Oh my gosh. I was literally like, yo, I can't even think right now. It's so cold. I realized I need to be in a comfortable environment in order to deliver these messages. But that was a really, that was a download. That was in it. So whoever that was for, that was just me passing on some medicine to you. These are things that I really ignored about myself and what I was feeling in relationships. I was really ignoring these parts, and it was causing me so much anxiety, and I really was projecting that I really was projecting that all my problems were just because my ex wouldn't change on my terms. I really did believe that if he would do all the things I wanted him to do, aka just be under my control, then I would be happy. And I know that so many of you have that mindset where you're just like, I can see that these are the things. It's so clear to me because you're awakened. You're waking up. You're seeing. You're waking up. You're waking up to your toxicity. You're waking up to the things within yourself, and that's very vulnerable. And so definitely when you're in a relationship and this happens, you want the other person to start holding themselves accountable too. It's really triggering to now be like in this different space and frequency where you're wanting to do better and you're wanting to say, hey, no, I was wrong. And then you're always met with someone who does not want to take that accountability. It actually brings you back to a trigger in childhood. I know, because you grew up with people not taking accountability. You grew up with people always trying to get away from the truth. And so then now that you're aware that this is happening again, because you went to sleep this whole time, you dissociated from this, but now that you're waking up to this, it's bringing you back to these memories in childhood where you felt like you were not being treated right. Sorry, this hat. Gotta fix my hair, y'all. But it brings you back. I needed that. Thank you. I had a couple of random texts from old boyfriends, and I'm not that person. Yeah, they do. They come back around, spin the block to test you and see if you still want to, dabble in the darkness, and just, live in those shadows of knowing that this is not good for you, but we still are going to choose to do it. And that's okay. Some of us consciously choose to say, hey, you know what? I know I'm probably going to regret this, but in this moment, I want to have fun. We make those conscious decisions. But as long as you're not acting like, clueless when you wake up and maybe you feel low vibrational, or you wake up and you regret it, or you wake up and you realize, this is not the pattern that I want to reopen again. And you know that like the only way that you can really get over your ex right now, or the only way that you can really end this, is to have some space or to take a break or whatever it is. But you keep finding yourself back in the loop because you're so scared to fully let go of it. That's where you realize, okay, I am contributing to my suffering because I am not willing to move forward in life. And I keep reopening this door that brings me back to this person that I'm actually trying to evolve out of. And so that lets me know that maybe I'm scared to grow. I'm scared to let go of certain things. I'm scared to let go of certain parts of myself that were ignorant and blissful. It used to be fun for me to just be able to go from person to person and just swipe it on Tinder. And then let me just do this because I wanted to, it's okay. And I used to be able to talk myself into it. It's fun to just have a couple dates and it'll be fine. And this person will be different. But the problem was I wasn't different. In between each relationship, when I would get ready to date again, I hadn't done really any work in between. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't sitting with myself. I wasn't thinking about how I contributed to this last situation and why we broke up and how come I wasn't honest with this. I wasn't looking at any of that. I was in straight victim mode. You guys just don't see a good woman when you see one, when you have one, and everybody and all the things I'm doing and woe is me. And I wasn't really sitting with the fact that I was jumping through hoops and doing all these things that I didn't even need to be doing so early on in a relationship, only to be jaded when that type of reciprocation wasn't matched, when it was too much in the beginning. And I should have been more cognizant and aware of who I was dealing with and what they were giving and where we were at. And not that love is transactional, but when you're first meeting somebody, you don't need to go take them on a shopping spree. When you first meet someone, you don't need to take them and buy them 50 gifts just to show them that your love language is gifts and this is what they can look forward to. No, let them see and find those parts of you authentically when it's actually organic and not because you're doing it because you're trying to get them to choose you, but you're telling yourself that you're just altruistic and kind. Stop. The lies that you're telling yourself to make sense of the things that you're doing that don't make sense need to stop, and you know it. You're doing it from a place of wounding. You are. And the more that you can get honest about that, then we can start to actually move forward. Because the lies are what's keeping you stuck. I'm just a good person. I'm just a good person. Yes. So good. Okay. So why would you want to stop being a good person, right? So if you equate good person with overgiving yourself, then okay, be a good person, but you're always going to be feeling drained and you're always going to be feeling this imbalance in your relationships. So if that's what being a good person has to sacrifice, then yes, you're a good person, but you're also someone who is doing things from a place of wounding because it doesn't feel good. If it doesn't feel good, then you know that you're going in the wrong direction. So stop lying to yourself and being so disconnected from how you actually feel. How are these actions actually making you feel instead of you constantly living in your head, trying to create some scenario that you don't even know is true, familiar? You have to be able to discern and you have to be able to stay present and say, oh, I'm doing it again and I need to stop. That's the only way that you're going to be able to integrate these shadows is to actually take action in the moment when you recognize that you're doing it again. Oop, I wasn't honest with that person on that date yesterday. I need to call them. It's bothering me. I went back into an old pattern right there in that second. And when we were at dinner, he asked me something direct and I avoided it because I was so scared of the answer because I could feel intuitively that my answer was different than his. And I went back into that pattern of wanting to be chosen, which means in order for me to be chosen, I have to abandon my thoughts, opinions, and feelings if it's going to be in contradiction of the person that I want to choose me. You processed all of that quick when you did that, when you changed your mind or when you didn't really speak your truth or when you held back when you really wanted to say something. You know what I'm talking about. You've done it several times. All that was how quickly your subconscious processed what to do. All that thing that I just said, you did that in milliseconds. Isn't that great? That's wild, right? In milliseconds, you came to all those conclusions. And then the answer that you went into was self-abandonment. On the second date, you were already so committed to being chosen before you even got to know if this person is someone that you wanted to choose. On the second date, on the first date, so committed to getting this person to choose you that you're already wearing a mask, already putting gaps into the foundation that you're building from the first date. I know you don't look at it that way, but that's what's happening. Because why aren't you being real from the beginning? Especially with big topics like who did you vote for or how do you feel about this? Why would you ever shy away from that? You think that that's not going to come and bite you in the butt? Your core values, morals, how you actually feel? You want to be going through this the rest of your life? Why would you want to go through disharmony once your truth comes out later on when you guys are both connected and now we have all this and we're caught up and we have kids? I mean, why would that, you know what I'm saying? Why would you want to let it get that far? Why wouldn't you want to nip it in the butt before you start developing feelings and emotions and say, hey, you know what? You seem really cool. Obviously, I think like we can get along, but the morals and values and what I'm looking for and something that I want in this sustainable relationship, I know it's not going to be sustainable because we are on the opposite ends of the spectrum in what we believe in. And I'm not going to spend my whole life trying to convince you. And I don't want you to spend your whole life trying to convince me. So let's enjoy this dinner and enjoy this conversation. And then we can go on our separate ways. That's someone who's secure. That's someone who's secure and says, I know myself and I know who I am and I know that I'm not going to back down and I know that I believe in what I believe in and these certain things, yes, I can compromise and yes, I'm open to certain perspectives, but when it comes to certain things that are objectively right and wrong in my world, those are not things that I'm willing to compromise on and I know that, so why would I entertain it and just keep this under wraps and while we get closer and closer and closer and then for what? A lot of us do that because we want to be chosen and we think that we can change people. Why do you want to go into a relationship saying, okay, I don't like all these things about this person, but over time I can change that? That's not love. That's not you saying, I love this person that I'm meeting. You're saying that I love the potential of what I want them to be. Not even the potential of who they could be or who they want to be. It's the potential of the projection of who you want them to be, who the partner is that will satisfy you. Is that the person that's actually in front of you right now? Or is this someone that you are hoping that you can change and mold? And why do you feel like you need to change and mold somebody? Why is that the forefront in your brain when you first meet somebody instead of just recognizing that we should let people be themselves, just like you want someone to be you, and just say that we're not compatible with every single person? Why do we have to always force it? Well, the reason why I did is because I wasn't used to getting any type of attention. I would walk with my head down. I didn't feel confident in myself. And so whenever whenever a man would give me attention, I would eat it up and it would be like, wow, okay. And even though I may not have been as attracted or there were certain parts of their personality that I didn't really like, or I was bored, or I just needed more intellectual stimulation, whatever, I would shove those things down. I would shove those things down and say, hey, listen, no one's perfect. The perfect person doesn't exist. And this person's giving you attention. This person's wanting to actually hang out with you, which is more than what you thought anybody would want to do. And so you should just take this. Like, you need to just find a way to like this. You need to just find a way to be okay with this. That was what I did in a lot of situations. And I'm sitting and reflecting and said, wow, that wasn't fair to me and it wasn't fair to the other person. The other person deserves for me to be all in and be excited and really want to fight and be with them, you know? And so I say all this just to say that you don't have to like everyone that likes you. You don't have to date everyone that wants to date you. You can have standards. You can say no. You are not just here to be chosen by someone. You also are the chooser. So you really need to take this time instead of running from relationship to relationship to relationship, if that's something that you do, to sit and say, what kind of partner do I actually want to be in a relationship that makes me feel proud, that makes me feel confident, and how do I actually want to be treated in relationships that makes me feel loved, that makes me feel seen, that makes me feel respected? Because a lot of us have settled for things that were the opposite of what we say we desire because we just think that we're going to force them to be it. But there's people that are ready and willing to love you the way that you want to be loved, but you have to be willing to do that for yourself first. And so those of you that are fantasizing about the love that you want while in a relationship, that is a key indicator that you're in the wrong relationship. Because if that person was climbing this, was elevating with you, you'd be seeing them, but you don't see them. You see a version of them that they could be, or some of you actually see somebody else because you know deep down 100% that this person is not for you, but you're just too scared to disconnect and let go, and your ego is real overdeveloped. So even though you don't want them, you don't want to see them with anybody else, even though you know that they're not your person. You feel really jealous, and there's something that takes over you when you think about them giving the love that they gave you or the attention that they gave you to someone else, because you know maybe they are a good person and they will get to where they need to get to, and maybe that makes you feel jealous. Maybe that makes you feel something. It's ego. This is real. Ego, you know? So, yep. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we're conditioned to be fixers. We're conditioned to be hypervigilant. We're conditioned to abandon ourselves. We're conditioned to betray ourselves, because when we first started trying to speak out and we first started to try to have an opinion, we found out quickly that it was not safe, that it was not going to be validated, and we didn't know what the term gaslighting was, but a lot of us were gaslit and told that what we were feeling was not what we were feeling, and so that makes you really confuse yourself, and it really makes you not trust yourself. And so if you had a parent that was super controlling, told you what to think, how to feel, told you when you could do this, when you could do that, how could you do this, then you may be an adult that has a really hard time making decisions for yourself. You may be an adult that's super indecisive. You may be an adult that is very anxious, especially when it comes to making decisions on what way to go, who to choose, partners, jobs, careers, different changes, different things. Like that may be something that causes a lot of turmoil in your life because you were so conditioned to look to other people to give you the answer. And even when you do look to other people to give you the answer, if it doesn't really resonate, if it's not it, you just, okay, cool, I heard it, but it's just something. And it's because only you know the answer. It's within, and you have to be brave enough to dig deep enough to go in there and say, who is this person before they were manipulated? Who am I before I was gaslit? Who am I, and what did I like before my dreams were crushed? Who am I, and what made me happy before I was forced to do a job or go to college or do something that I really did not give a damn about? You have to dig so deep and find it, because some of us were cut off from ourselves at such a young age that it's like, you got to go back. This is not something that just happened in your 20s. This is not something that just happened in your teens. For some of us, we've been disconnected from ourselves since toddler, since a baby. Okay? So you got to get to that disconnection. You got to get to the point where you forgot. You got to get to the point where you were conditioned just to throw your magic away and conform to the gray of society, where everybody just needs to be the same, and everybody needs to make within this salary range, and everybody does this type of job and works in this type of corporation, and everybody goes to college and everybody gets this. No, that's not what everybody really wanted and needed to do. We were following a role, and we've been following a program for so long, and now some of us have completed the program, and where's our reward, and where's us living and thriving? And now we're realizing, I'm going to be doing this shit forever, constantly trying to strive for something that's not there. And until you wake up to that, you will get out of this hamster wheel that you've been in called 9-to-5 corporate America, and you will wake up and see that it is killing you, your soul, slowly. And now that you're aware of it, it feels like it's killing you even faster. You were able to deal with it when you were ignorant and blissful, and you were lying to yourself that you really wanted to climb up this ladder and that you really gave a damn. And there was a part that did. But the more and more that you saw how the system works, and the more and more that you saw how you're overlooked, taken for granted of, and invalidated, and that you're never going to make enough based on society and inflation and the way that they do it, it's by design. You see that it's not just because you're not good enough to get a raise. You're seeing that it's not just because the company doesn't have money. You're seeing that it's not any of the things that they told you. You're seeing the truth before your eyes, and the question is, are you going to continue walking blind, or are you going to act on what you know and actually make a different decision and stop kissing these people's ass? Sacrificing your time, your health, your mental health, and your family, cussing out your kids because you're so tired and you don't have any time for yourself. And then you're sacrificing the thing that matters the most, because when they get older and say, I really love you, but I wish you didn't work so much, you're going to say, me too. So why don't you stop that right now? Why don't you form a plan so that doesn't have to be? Why don't you course correct right now? It's not too late for you to make a different decision. It's not too late for you to change. But you're so unfocused, and you know it. I'm speaking to myself. You are so committed to escaping this reality instead of creating a reality that you actually want to be in. Spending so much money trying to get away from the reality that you hate where you are at right now, instead of saying, no, I need to be in it and be present, and I need to feel this pain every day, because this pain is going to be the catalyst that I'm going to change. Because I keep trying to reach for these artificial forms of dopamine that don't last and are not even giving me what I want, because what I want is sustainability. What I want is stability. And that is not created in these false senses of escapism. I'm just coming back broker. I'm just coming back more tired. I'm just coming back whatever it is. It's not doing it. The sugar's not doing it. It's actually killing me slowly. Me not dealing with my emotions and me not going for my dreams is making me depressed, and that depression is making me eat sugar, and that sugar is giving me diabetes. This is where they say that not dealing with your emotions and not stepping into your potential causes autoimmune diseases. Not because you not going for your dream is directly correlated to diabetes, but all the symptoms and all the ways that you cope with not stepping into your potential is what leads to the diabetes. It's what leads to the cancer. So yes, when they say that these autoimmune diseases are emotional, they are 100% correct. And the symptoms of the emotions is what causes the disease, dis-ease in the body. You cannot stay in this frequency forever and think that your body's not going to give out. You are not meant to be at such a low frequency for years. You are not meant to be angry at your father for 30 years and holding a grudge. It's killing you. That's why you're not creative. The anger is blocking your creativity because you are so angry and resentful, even if you show this on the outside. People pleasers are some of the most angry and resentful people I've met in my entire life. Stop the act. Stop performing. Stop pretending. You are not happy all the time. You don't want to say yes all the time. And you are not a bad person because of those facts. You have to reprogram. You have to change this narrative. Stop letting mom and dad's voice control and dictate the way that you show up in this world. It's not their voice anymore. It's yours. It's yours. It's your voice. You are choosing to continue this narrative that is not serving you. You are continuing to go day in and day out in this job that is killing you slowly instead of focusing on the weekends or any time that you have to get out of this shit. It's not going to just fall from the sky. You have to be brave enough to make the changes. And you know that one of the biggest changes that you are going to have to make this year is your fear of being seen. You have to be seen in this chapter. You are not going to be able to get to this next chapter going under the radar like you've been this whole time. Just saying just enough. Just doing just enough. No. It's not enough anymore, and you know it. And that's not, I'm not enough. No, your effort is not enough. You are enough, and you need to show up for yourself as if you know this. And so the half-ass and just giving yourself a little quarter of the energy while you're over here giving it to these corporations that you know do not give a damn does not make sense when you are aware of this. And I'm speaking in this way because you have had it. I'm speaking in this way because this is the frustration that you feel within yourself. I am just manifesting it so that you can see the mirror. You are frustrated with yourself because you know that you are deserving of better, that you know you have the potential, and you know how creative you are. But you are scared of other people seeing your depth. Because not everything is going to be pretty and not everything is going to be comfortable in what it is that you need to express. But that is not why you are here. You are not here to make people comfortable. You are not here just to walk on eggshells and just be in the background. No, if you're on this live, you know that you've had an inherent knowing that you are meant to be seen in a big way. And sometimes the visions manifest as you doing a guitar solo on the stage and everyone's cheering for you. Sometimes it manifests as you doing this speech and everyone is so engaged and they care about what you have to say. Everyone is loved. And it's not because you're vain and it's not because you're cocky. It's because you've been seeing this vision throughout your entire life and it's changed and what it looks like and what you're doing and how you look has changed over the years. But the same common goal has not changed. You are meant to be seen by many people, and that scares you. You know it, and it scares you. Because you have something to say, and you are a teacher, and you are supposed to be sharing your experiences with the world. And the things that you've gone through in childhood are not in vain. They are meant for you to teach other people because they are cycles that we all repeat. So if you could help someone wake up a little bit sooner than you did, then you're doing your job. And that's helping the collective and the greater good because you know of all people when you are not in alignment and you are not living in your truth and you are doing things that you know you have no business doing anymore. You are not the best version of yourself. You don't make the best decisions. You're gossiping, you're judging, you're being envious and jealous. Those are not your character. They're a part of it. But there is a world where you can live in it and see other people doing things and not feel jealous or feel left behind because you're actually doing the shit that you're supposed to do. The reason why you feel those things is because you have a deep inherent belief that you're not capable of achieving the same things as the people that you're jealous of. That is a personal problem. That is a belief that you are carrying. And that is something that you have the ability to change if you stop woe is me and pity party and realize, okay, I don't like these things about myself. And the reason why is because I know that I can do better. And so, yes, it does make me feel a little jealous and envious when I see somebody living the life that I want. So what am I doing to get there? What steps have I taken? What leaps have I taken? Up here complaining and upset because you tried for 1 week and you didn't go viral. What do you have to offer when you go viral? Why do you want to go viral? Because you want validation that your video was good enough? You need to know that it's good enough when it has 100 views, when it has 0 views. And if you're doing it for the views, then no, it's not going to go viral because your spirit team knows that you're still working in ego and you can't do this job when you're still working in ego. And you know it. It's bigger than you. And it's bigger than likes, and it's bigger than the praise. Yes, you will get recognition that you deserve. But you got to show that you're ready to commit to this and show up talking about going viral. And then what? Now all eyes are on you. What you got to say? No, it's going to go in the pace that you can handle it. It's going to go in the pace that you can handle it. The reason why you're getting 100 views and 200 views is because that's what you can handle right now. It's going in baby steps because you're not ready for that million people on you. What's up? What you got to say? No, I'm still getting used to it. So my spirit team is allowing me to get my feet wet. My spirit team is allowing me to ease into this process. My spirit team knows the wounding and the fears that I have. So my spirit team knows if the first damn video that I make, hey guys, I want to talk about mother wounds. Oh, million people. Oh, shit. Well, damn, I didn't know. I just wanted to I was just trying. I actually liked it, really. Even though I'm still working through not caring about it. I don't want 1 million people. Goddamn, I was just getting started. Hold on now. I didn't want everybody to know about my mama. That's why I was on TikTok in the first place. Because I was too scared to do it on Instagram because Instagram got more people that I know. And so I was starting on TikTok to get my feet wet. But now it's going viral. But I just didn't know because that's how you would be. You think that you want this, but then it's overwhelming. And then what happens? You say, oh no. And a lot of people just shut it off. That's why it's not happening like that, because this is a process. This is not just for your ego to say, you're good enough. Here's the viral. No, it's a job that you are creating for yourself and you are growing along with the job. You are evolving along with it. And the more confident you get and the more truth and the more that you're ready to be seen, then you will be. My first viral video, when I was first trying to portray myself as this coach and I was just like, oh yeah, you know, you guys, I think it's like this. And I don't know. And I was tiptoeing around things and I was really trying to come at it from a perspective of just all knowing. It wasn't working. Nothing was going through. Then finally, after 3 or 4 months, I think 3 or 4 months of me trying to be this and be that, I just came on here and said, you guys, I got an anxious attachment and this shit is fucking hard. I be walking through the house, slamming doors. I run every time things get uncomfortable. I literally want my partner to read my mind. I cry and I can't even get where. And that was the video that has 10 million views now. That was my first viral video. Not the video of me trying to portray myself. Not the video of me trying to be this and be that. It was when I was ready to be seen. I was so tired of pretending. And I said, you know what? This is me too. I know that I'm healing. I know I'm a good person, but I got to tell you guys some of the things that I have not wanted to tell nobody because I feel a lot of shame that I behave this way. And I feel like I'm crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm 30, 35, 40. I'm this grown age. And I know deep down I'm acting like a toddler in these relationships. I know it and I don't want to admit it. I have so much shame and I haven't wanted to admit it. But this is a part of my story. And I feel like none of this is making sense until I just tell you. So this is me. Guess what? All of a sudden, I put my phone away. I think that I'm going to get 100 views just like I always do, but I'm still showing up. That's the difference. Even though I was getting 100 views, I didn't let it stop me. It wasn't bothering me. I just wanted to get my story out. And then when I got to the point where I was like, I want to be seen more. and not just in my perfections and not just in this victim mode. I have an overwhelming yearning desire for people to see me in my bad behavior too. I don't know why. This is something that I never wanted to tell my even closest friends. And now I'm about to make a video to the whole world. Well, I only thought 200 people were going to see it, so maybe that was some comfort, but I was just ready. I want people to know the bad parts of me. I want people to know the shadow parts of me. I don't want people to think that I'm happy-go-lucky all the time. I don't want people to think that I'm like this positive person all the time. Even though I've built my whole persona on that, I'm not. And I don't want people to like me because of that. And that's what it was. And then I just got on there and I'm like, I want to be human. I want to be normal. I don't want this pressure. And so I did, and I let it out, and I had the idea that only 200 or 300 people are going to see it because that's what has been happening. So obviously I'm going to just think what the pattern has been. And I put my phone away and I start doing something else, go to do something. And I open my phone and it says like 2,000 notifications. And I said, oh, what's wrong? What happened? Oh my God. And then it was just going crazy. I'd never seen that before. And I'm like, what video? Is this like an old one that's finally taken off? One of my coaching, one where I'm trying to coach? No. Immediately, the video of me being authentic, the video of me just being seen, the video of me in my depth. And I thought that meant that I had to have some philosophy and I'm talking like this. Because of course I admire those teachers who are already at that level in their journey where they really have processed it enough to be able to articulate it the way that I am now. But that's not where I was now. I'm right here now because of that video. Because of me starting and not trying to be so ahead and not trying to be like, okay, I'm in survival mode. So because I need to do this one video no, if you're building this from survival mode, it's going to be really painful for you, babe. You have to put in the work. You have to show. If you want your spirit team to your teacher and you're really wanting to step into this teacher role, you got to show the consistency. You got to show that you're in it to win it. You got to show it that I don't care if I get one view. That one view is important. You can't see it in this world of social media where it's the likes and all this stuff. Yes, I know that it does matter and the follows and getting your message out there. But you have to know that even if you impact 2 people, that is 2 lives, one life that you have changed. And you're just looking at that like nothing. Someone's whole course of thinking, they saw your video and that made them feel less alone. And they said, you know what? I'm not going to give up on myself. You have no idea. Just because someone doesn't come and knock on your door and say, hey, such and such, I want to let you know that when you shared that, you made me feel less alone. And I was on the brink of I just wanted to go because I thought I was the only one on the planet that was like this. And I just said, maybe the world would be better without me. I don't know because I'm just fucked up. But then I saw your video, you talking about how you're fucked up too. And just knowing that there was someone else in this world that was fucked up just like me, but was getting through it. And I see that they're in a different frequency, but the words that they're saying are so fucking relatable, but I can feel that they're in a different frequency, but the words and the truth that they're speaking are letting me know that they're not lying about this shit. There's no way that you can say these certain things and not fucking live it. I know they lived it, but I can also feel that they're in a higher frequency. So you know what? That gives me hope. That gives me hope. Some of you have no idea that your videos are going to be that for people. That certain people are waiting specifically for you to make that video about your childhood. You don't even know it. They don't even know it. But the universe already knows it. And this is why you feel this burning call to do it. It's not for nothing. It's not just for you. It's not just for you. I just want people to hear me. No, you have a burning desire to get it out because you inherently know, whether you're conscious of it or not, that there are people that are ready to get that video, that need to hear that video, that need to hear your story because your story does matter. This is what people talk about when they say that your story does matter. It's not just some cliche, a cookie cutter thing. Your story matters. No, your individual truth and the things that you have gone through as an individual matter. Not just for you to get it out and liberate yourself, but to help other people liberate themselves too. In 2021, I was on the verge. On 2021, I had finally had enough suffering. In 2021, I was giving up on myself. I was very, very, very close. I did not care. The pain and feeling so alone in my pain and feeling so misunderstood and feeling like I'm this crazy person and like, and I use that loosely because I love being crazy. I think it's a compliment now, but I use that in our society's terms because, yeah, crazy is actually good in my opinion now. But I felt like I was insane. I felt like there was something genuinely wrong with me, and it was wrong. There was. I was done conforming. That's what it was. But I just gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm so tired of living by myself. I'm so tired of my family doesn't even know who the fuck I am. I'm so tired of my friends not knowing who the fuck I am. I'm so tired of these relationships that I get in, and these people I'm dating don't even know who the fuck I am. You know what? Actually, I don't even know. I'm so tired of it. I don't even know who the fuck am I. I just feel like I'm some needy ass person who's just chasing men all day. I know that I'm a light. I know that I have good qualities, but I don't feel rooted and grounded in myself. I feel fucking separate. This is all the things that I felt. I feel like I just am walking around existing, floating, and I don't even know. And and now that I'm becoming more aware, I realize that even though I am a really good friend, I realize I gossip a lot and I manipulate people. 2021 almost took me the fuck out. Like, I'm telling you, when the truth was, the truth was hitting me like with an uppercut and a left hook and everything. I mean, when I tell you 2021, yeah, my mom and sister, I think that was the first year that everyone in my family woke up and said, oh shit, like, oh, this little happy-go-lucky comedian in the family is fucking depressed. That was when I finally made it known to my family. I don't know how much longer, I don't know. And they were just like, wait, what the fuck? Who is this? And I said, yeah, this is me too. I'm fucking depressed. I've been lying. I've been lying to myself. I've been lying to everybody. I'm just keeping this smile and laughing, but I feel nothing. I feel numb. I feel numb physically. I feel numb sexually. I don't feel shit. And actually, your boyfriend is a big reason to it, just to drop this on you. Yeah, he abused me all through this. You guys, 2021, no fucking filter no more. If I'm gonna live in this shit, y'all are too. I'm done. I'm done. My mom she had a whole thing. I just said it. Yeah, and by the way, this and this. And the reason why I have intimacy issues is because you're a fucking guy that you've been with for 20 years that you clearly don't see any. I don't know how you don't see how nasty he is. But yeah, he's been doing stuff and grooming me this whole time. Merry Christmas. What's for dinner? Since we all just want to ignore shit all the time. I'm sorry that I can't tell jokes right now, and I'm sorry that I can't make you comfortable, and I'm sorry that I'm not going to ignore it anymore, and I'm sorry that I'm not fun, and I'm sorry that I'm not bringing the light to the family like I usually do and tell all the jokes. I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't be that for you right now, and if you can't love me anymore, I understand, but I've realized that I have fucking not loved myself this whole time, and I'm okay if you can't at this point. At this point, I am so low in my own self-esteem. I am so sad. I am so fucking broken, like consciously broken. Yeah. Yeah, 2021, that was 2021 for me. So for you guys to be seeing this energy and you guys to be seeing this and me talking to you and this, I had to fucking fight to get here again. I had to fight to find this light again, but in an authentic way. I had to fight. And I give so much love and grace and gratitude and just so much empathy to the souls who did not have any more fight in them. I don't judge those souls at all because I understand that we are all battling some really heavy things, and it's very much in our minds, and sometimes it is bigger than it really is, but that doesn't matter. It matters to the person who's experiencing it in the moment. So if this molehill really does feel like a fucking mountain on your back, and maybe it really is just a molehill, but it truly feels like a mountain. I don't care what the fuck it is on the outside. I don't care what it is, the perspective of everybody else on the outside. How it feels to that person is the only thing that matters. And this is what we've been saying since the beginning. How it feels, it doesn't matter what I think about you. It doesn't matter how great I think that you are. It doesn't matter how much that boyfriend loves you, that you want to love you and choose you. It doesn't matter how much that girlfriend wants you and chooses you. It doesn't matter if your parents wake up and finally say, we choose you, we love you. If you don't choose yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't feel it, it doesn't matter what we all feel. The main thing that matters is what you feel, because you are living in this reality and you are having all these thoughts all the time while everybody else is out at the beach and we're jet skiing and everyone is supposed to be present. Your mind is really thinking about this, this, and this. When we're on vacation at the Eiffel Tower and I think that we're present at the Eiffel Tower, cheers, your mind is thinking something else. I don't know what you're experiencing just because you're here next to me. I don't know what's going on in here. I don't know what you're feeling really. I don't know. I could be, yes, we're at the Eiffel Tower. This is the best moment. Oh my God. And you could be thinking, I wish I was dead right now. No one knows until you let it out. You've gotten so good at performing and lying that people literally, genuinely don't even know. And that what makes you feel resentful too. You've gotten so good at being adaptive, the adjusted, that people don't even check on you no more because they just assume that you're okay because you always say that you're okay. But then you have resentment. You want people to push and push more and do this because that's what you do, because you're so hypervigilant and you know when people are lying because you lie all the time. Yeah, I said it. You know when people are lying about their emotions because you're the coach. You lie about your emotions all the time. You know the symptoms, you know the signs, you know the emotions, you know the anxiety that comes with it. You are hypervigilant. You know when someone's lying and they do this, when they say, I'm okay, but then why are their hands doing this? Why are you doing this? Why can't you look at me in my eyes when you tell me that? You are hypervigilant to it because you are the coach. So when you can use it to your advantage and you can use it to stop lying to yourselves, then you are going to be an excellent coach. This is why people who've been through a lot of trauma do make a lot, who make excellent therapists, psychologists, counselors. Where it becomes toxic is when the greed and capitalism of the way that you do it gets under, gets a hold of you, or you hit a wall where as the therapist, as the coach, as a psychiatrist, you need to continue evolving and doing your own work so that you have more perspectives and more relatability with your client. I've seen that. And so you have, as a coach, you have to continue evolving along with your clients, or a lot of therapists feel like their clients evolve faster than them. And they're like, I don't really feel like I can even help you anymore, and that is a really scary feeling, a really uncomfortable feeling as a coach, as a therapist, where you can tell that your client is evolving in the concepts faster than you're teaching them. And so that's where you have to make sure as a teacher, as a coach, that you are also doing your own work simultaneously while being able to help others. And this is why you guys saw me take 4 months off, 4 or 5 months off this year, where I really wasn't taking clients. I wasn't showing up, because I knew that I was not in a space to really hold space right now. I needed to hold space for myself. And so at some point, someone's going to have to take the back seat, and it's going to be you guys, so that I can, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be you guys that has to take the back seat so that I can actually do the work on myself to be the coach that you need me to be. That's what you deserve. You deserve to have to take a break from us. You deserve for me to say, hey, right now I need to take a couple months off from our coaching because I'm going through something and I don't feel right having you pay me when I'm not even present, because I have so much stuff going on in my own world that I actually need to get some coaching right now. I'm sorry. There's a part of me that feels like I'm letting you down because I know that you look forward to our session every single week, but I have to be honest with you and myself that I'm not present, and I haven't been really being able to grasp and retain the things that you're saying because I have so much shit going on in my own life. That's someone who really loves you. That's a coach who really loves you. That's a coach who's going to be real with you. And also, let's actually give you some time to integrate the things that we've been talking about the last few months. I've been coaching you for the last few months. So let's go ahead and take these couple months off and let's start integrating, because sometimes we do even use our therapists and our coaches as a crutch. It makes us feel good. They make us feel good. We feel soothed. They listen to us. They give us advice. They affirm us. They do all these things. But you can't use me as a crutch either. You have to be able to do this work without me, because at some point you're not going to be my client. I'm not here to have you as a client for 10 years. I'm here to empower you, hold your hand, lift you up, speak life into you until you feel confident to walk this path on your own, because you can heal yourself. And then there'll be times where you may come back to me. You guys do. I love it. I've had people that I've coached 2 years ago, and then they've gone off and they've done their thing. And then now they're doing my mentorship, my 4-week mentorship. You're like, you know what? I haven't seen you in like a year. I think I've hit a little rough patch, which we all do. I was doing it. I was flying high, and then boom, I had to come back down. This is where I come. You need help to get back out into the game, to take action in this part, because you'll notice in your journey, you'll go up, 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 and then you'll be like, okay, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I overcame this. And then bam, another lesson comes. It's time for you to go deeper. There's more. I know. And don't be mad about that. That's just letting you know that you're capable of more, and you should not feel bad. Just say, okay, I take it as like, yes, my ancestors are strong. They are powerful. I know that I'm here to do something for the collective. I know I'm here to do something for humanity. So if my spirit team is telling me that it's time to look at something different or go into something deeper, I'm not going to kick and scream and fight. I'm going to say, okay, this must going to make me a better person, because now I've known that every time I go down, I skyrocket back up. And then I go down deeper, I skyrocket even higher. So once you start to notice these patterns, thank you for the affirmations, Anna. I really appreciate you. Once you start to notice these patterns in your journey, you start to be less scared of the dark moments. You start to be less scared of the valleys. You start to be less scared because you know, ooh, okay, there's something that I need to look at. There's something that I need to do. And it may not be so comfortable, but I know on the other side of this, the reward that I'm going to feel, the more in alignment I'm going to feel, the more whole I'm going to feel, the more deserving I'm going to feel, the more empowered I'm going to feel, the more liberated I'm going to feel. Clearly, there's something that's holding me back, and I don't want anything to hold me back, especially not something within myself that I can control. Yeah, maybe the system, the job, money, that may be something that I just have to wait a little bit. But when you tell me that it's a mindset that I need to shift, you're telling me that if I just think this way, that all these other things are going to be easier. Nah, I'm going to go into that and work that. Are you kidding me? Why would I run from that? You mean that if I shift my perspective, I'll be able to make more money? Why would I run from that? You mean to tell me that the way that I'm spending money and the way that I'm going back down, because right now I'm in a low when it comes to my finances. I'm in a low. I'm in a dark night of the soul when it comes to finances, because this is the part of my business that I'm like, oh, okay, I can't just keep treating this as a hobby. I can't just keep spending money. Oh, I got a payment here, I got a payment there. Okay, spend it. No, I can't do that. I have to realize that when I was getting paid every 2 weeks when I was working for corporate America, that allowed me to be more successful because I had more boundaries around my money. So since I'm not working for corporate America, does that mean that I don't have boundaries? No, it means I have to be smart enough and disciplined enough to set my own boundaries, because I'm in control of how much I get paid. I'm in control of how often I get paid. I'm in control of when I get paid, because I can create something and collect payment. So I have this control, but do I have the structure? That is why we feel so good with corporate America, because they already created a structure. That's what's most daunting for you. Not that you can't be creative enough, not that you're not powerful enough. It's because, can I create the structure in a world where structure has been created for me? When I have the freedom, and am I going to be able to rein it in when I have all this newfound freedom? And I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, you may get a little crazy, because a lot of us don't know what it feels like to have ownership of our time every day. It feels satiating. It feels exciting. It feels like, oh my gosh, like you just wake up on a Monday and you're just like, what do I want to do today? I said, what do I want to do? You mean to tell me on Monday I can wake up and work on my music? Oh my God, I can make a music Monday? You mean to tell me on Tuesday we can do topics? I can do topic Tuesday because I can talk about different topics. This is where your brain starts to go when you have the space to expand, when you're not giving 40 hours a week to something that you don't care about. This is when you can have the ideas. And this is when you can say, okay, all right, I want to do this. And it makes you feel excited. It does. You realize I am a creator. I come from creation, which means I'm a creator. And yes, I guess I'm creating these spreadsheets and I'm creating these caseloads, but this is not exciting to me. I don't want to create spreadsheets. I don't care about how many caseloads. I don't care about these claims on the phone. I'm tired of getting cussed out by people who are also dysregulated and taking out their pain on me, projecting their anger on me. I'm tired of putting up with it. I know I have way more to give this earth than this mindless work that I'm doing. And no, I'm not saying that it's not important. We need to be able to talk to people on the phones. We need to be able to have customer service. But what I'm saying is that it's not okay for me. And it's okay for me to say that. And it's not enough for me. And it's okay for me to admit that. And I'm not a bad person because I want more for myself. And I'm not a bad person because I want to be better. And it doesn't mean that because I want to get off of corporate America and be better, that my friends who choose to stay in corporate America are less. We are not in competition. I'm talking about me. And if it bothers you, and if it makes you feel something, then maybe you're feeling the same thing, but you're too scared to admit it. And the fact that I'm admitting it out loud is a mirror of how you feel about yourself. And so instead of getting mad and taking the perspective that I think I'm better than you because I'm not in corporate America, why don't you look in the mirror and say that you're better than this too? Join me. You're better than this too. Join me. Do what you need to do. What does it look like for you? What does happiness actually look like for you? I want you to write this in your journal, and I want you to answer it over the next couple days. Get honest with yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. If it says playing my banjo in the countryside, then I want you to write playing a banjo in the countryside. And we're going to find a way for you to be playing that banjo in the countryside, because if that's what you desire, then that's what you deserve. I don't care how it looks to somebody else. I don't care how much money it's going to make you. I don't care. We got to figure it out. If that's what you desire, then that's what you deserve. And you have to start using that mantra, and you have to start believing it, because a lot of you have all these desires, but you don't feel capable, or you don't feel deserving, or you don't feel worthy, or you feel daunting, or you don't feel like you can actually reach it and achieve it. And when you think about what it is that you want, it seems so far away. And maybe it is 5 years away. Maybe it is 10 years away. But is it always going to be far away if you never take the first step? It is. It's always going to be far away if you never take the first step. Because if you don't take the first step, you're always standing in the same position. And the only thing that is constantly changing is the fact that things are constantly changing. That is the only thing that's constant. So if you are making a conscious choice just to stand still and never evolve, and not put yourself out there, and not face your fears, and not do the things that you know you want to do because it scares you, then yeah, you are stagnant. That's why you feel that. Because the world is still moving. People are still moving. Jobs are still being created. People are still making money. Things are still happening. And you're just standing here watching it, screaming inside, because you know how frustrated you are that you're just standing here watching it. It's like a third-party observer just sitting here watching yourself in the chair day in and day out, just scroll, wasting your life, wasting your time. And you're screaming inside every single day that you go to the grocery store and get those brownies and cake and all the shit that you know you said that you were going to stop eating. It's not about that you can't have brownie and cakes. It's the fact that you always say that you're going to do shit and you never do it. You always say that you're going to get healthy and start meal prepping and go to the gym. And then every time it comes around, you find some type of excuse on why you can't start. Keep prolonging your happiness. And I don't know why. Why do you keep prolonging your happiness? You know that these things are going to make you happy. You know that these things are a part of you being your best self. Why do you keep prolonging that? That's what you need to ask yourself. Why are you so scared of being great? Why are you so scared of doing what's best for you? Why is it so challenging for you to do the right thing, but it's so easy for you to fall back into those patterns that you know by now are not serving you? Why are you so comfortable in your pain? Why are you so comfortable in your dysfunction? It's because you know what to expect. It's because you know what to expect. It's familiar. That's why when you meet people who are also in the same frequency as you, it feels familiar. Doesn't mean the frequency is that high. Doesn't mean the frequency is where you want to be anymore. But since it's familiar, it's okay to go through this toxicity with someone else. Oh, someone's willing to bond with me over the trauma? Okay, let's do it. At least I don't have to go through the trauma by myself. Oh, you mean you want to bond with me over the trauma? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jim. My niece got me this for my birthday. I love it. And then my sister got me this little onesie. This is actually a onesie under here, but I got cold. This is actually like a little onesie that I have, but I got cold, so I'm like, let me just put this in. Yeah. But thank you. I am a sun sign and a sun moon, so I really love the sun. I love just sitting out in the sun. I love baking. And it's just so crazy how, you know, I, as a little black girl growing up in a predominantly white area, how scared I was of getting dark, and how I thought that, like, you know, me getting darker would make me less desirable. And now the summertime is my favorite. I live in Florida at that, and I love laying out. And I always thought that I was weird as a black woman being like, oh, I want to go to the pool and lay out. And people would be like, oh, why do you want to lay out? Like, it's not like you can get tan. And I was growing up around that, and it's just like, no, I just love the feeling of the sun. It's not even about getting darker or lighter. I just love the feeling of the sun on my skin, and it's healthy for me. Also, I actually like how I do look darker. I can tell in the winter time when I'm not out in the sun as much because it's cold that I'm lighter, but I actually really, really love when I spent the summer in Mexico and Guatemala in 2023 and I was out in like a bathing suit top and like my little skirts every day, you guys, I started falling in love with my dark skin. I started falling in love with it. And when I went to Peru, every time I was walking around, I had my big fro. I had my hair like picked out and froed out. I had my, my skin was dark. I was in Peru. It was so hot. I had like, my little outfits. Can I tell you how many people were like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful. Can I take a picture with you? I'm like, what the hell? Do they think I'm like someone in the States that's like famous? They're like, no, you're just so beautiful. We just never see people with your hair like this. And I was just like, what? Sure, yeah. And they were just taking pictures and I'm in these different countries and I'm like, wow, all I had to do was go out of the United States to feel loved for who I am. And now I start to feel it more and more because I see it now because I love myself more. And so I do believe that the way I felt about myself when I was growing up and I felt so like I wanted to be white and I wanted to be lighter and I wish I had lighter eyes. So because of those insecurities, it definitely, people could feel that. And that's what wasn't attractive about me. It wasn't the fact that I physically wasn't attractive growing up. I thought it was a really beautiful young lady. But it was like, I didn't feel that way. So the way that I was carrying myself and the way that I was walking around and the way that I was projecting how everyone was feeling about me, because this is how I felt about myself. That's why I was seeing people that maybe was overlooking me. That's why people were not even looking at me, because I was walking into the room with my other friends and kind of like skittish and shy and high. And also the sexual abuse and the things that I had gone through with men also made me very scared and intimidated of men in my 20s. And so I really just didn't have confidence in myself. And I didn't realize how much like lack of confidence was unattractive. And so then when I started building myself up and just not giving a damn and saying, no, I'm done walking with my head like this. I'm going to walk like this in the streets. I'm going to listen to my music. I'm going to fucking vibe. I know I'm a vibe. I know when I'm by myself and I feel safe. I put on some music. I have excellent music taste. I love music, all different genres. I started naming all these things about me. And I was like, this is not me being cocky. Why do I feel like this is arrogance? No, it's not. What the hell? I always am telling good things and showing people these beautiful parts of themselves. I'm always being a mirror to people. And I always, every time I get an opportunity to speak life in somebody, I do. Every time if you're around me and you think that you're going to talk shit about yourself around me, you got another thing coming. I do not tolerate that. We will not be close friends. If you're that person that's still like, I'm stupid, I hate this, I can't do it. We will not be friends. I can't tolerate that. It really hurts me to hear people talk about themselves like this. That's what keeps me up at night. When people say your purpose is what keeps you up at night. What keeps me up at night is how people genuinely feel so low about themselves. And it's not true, because I've been there and it's not true. I've been there and it's not fucking true. It's an illusion. It's projection. It's society. It's your parents. You're carrying the wounds of those before you. It's not you. And once you realize that you are this bright, beautiful light, and you stop giving a damn about what people think about your light, and you stop dimming your light because it makes people feel uncomfortable, and you tell them to go put some fucking sunglasses on, then you will really feel the flex of what it feels like to live. You will really feel the flex of what it feels like to not give a damn. So for me, what my exposure therapy is, and we all have exposure therapy. What is yours? My exposure therapy was putting my feelings on social media and just not giving a damn. I had to do it. That was the only thing. I couldn't think my way through this anymore. I would think about it. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. But then I would never do it. And then I would never get anywhere, because I have to put myself out there to feel the perceived judgment so that I can say I don't give a fuck. I had to. There's processes to it. You got to put yourself in the fire to show I'm not going to be burned by this. Yes. And so for me, my spirit guide said, Kristen, don't you remember when you were a little girl, you were always the first one on the dance floor. There was something about dancing that you just always had a confidence in. And I would be like, yeah, you're right. I still feel that all through my 20s. I was always the person that could dance on the bar sober, because all through my 20s, I was completely sober. All through my 20s, I was completely sober. So if you saw me dancing on the bar, if you saw me doing anything wild, it was not because I was under the influence. It was just because I used to just put myself out there like that. Dancing is something that I just never felt ashamed of. I don't know why, like just my family. I don't know what it is. Since I was a little girl. So, but then I lost that part of myself. I lost that, like, that confidence to just dance anywhere. And then I used to just be like, oh, only I can dance only if I'm in the club. But then as I got older, I didn't want to go to the clubs as much. I didn't resonate with that energy as much at the time. I'm like, well, so I love dancing. I like dancing with people. But the only time that I can do it is if I go to the club. But if I don't enjoy going to the club, that means I can never dance in public. I can only just dance in my room by myself. And then my spirit guide said, no, that's what you're telling yourself. And I said, where do you want me to dance? They said, start dancing in the mall. Like, get your steps in. Like, while you're dancing, and put the headphones in, and I want you to start dancing in the mall. And I said, what do you mean in the mall? Yeah, go get your steps in the mall. And so people in Florida, because it gets so hot during certain months of the year, but if you still want to exercise and you don't want to be on a treadmill, I go to, like, the mall. I will go to the mall with my headphones on, with my workout outfit, and I will just walk the mall, because I have ADHD and it's boring sometimes for me to it's boring. I like to be around people. I also am an extrovert. So I like being around people, but then I put my headphones on because I don't want you to actually talk to me sometimes. I just want to be in my own world, but I feel the energy of people. Even when I'm so tapped into myself and so in tune that I can genuinely feel a smile, you guys. I know it's going to feel crazy, but I can feel the energy transfer of a smile. I feel it when I first go in the mall. Well, I know I just jumped from stories. I have ADHD, so I know that a lot of you guys have ADHD, so I'm going to get back to the other story in a second, but just stay with this story, okay? But when I would go to the mall and I'd be like, all right, I got to put myself out there. I got to go get my steps in. I'll start getting my steps in, and I'll see people. I'll look around and I'll be dancing, and people will see me. And then sometimes people will look at me and they'll just be like, they'll just do this. Like, some people just do this. And like, it's like they're seeing a ghost just because I'm just walking like this. Like, I'm just walking in my vibe. Or sometimes, and then when people used to do that, that's where I would feel the insecurity, right? I'm putting myself out there. And so I don't know the reactions I'm going to get. So because I'm doing, and like my spirit team would be like, be bigger, be bigger. And I would be like, no, I don't want to. And so they'd be like, go. You like to dance. You don't want to go to the club. You have this music on. If a good part of the song comes on, fucking dance. We don't care where you're at. This planet is your dance floor. The earth is your dance floor. Act like it. And I said, but people are going to look at me. Okay, do it. And so then I would do it. I would be in the mall, and in my head, I'd be like, oh my God, like when I first started doing it in 2021 is when I started doing this. When I first started doing it, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm fucking crazy. People think I'm fucking on drugs. What do they do? What if they think I'm on drugs? What if they think I'm like someone who like has it? Okay, let them. And it really was confronting, where I was like, God, I really do care how fucking people perceive me. This is so annoying. I used to think I was so confident, but when I'm doing things that are out of the norm, of course I'm going to feel more confident dancing in a club where everybody's dancing. But can you feel real confident in an environment where no one's dancing, but you're the only one, where you stand out? That's where, are you really confident? And so they would do this. And then people, like I said, people would do this. But then I would feel the energy. I would feel it. And then so when people would do this in the beginning, when I really still cared, and people would be like this, I would feel my confidence go down. I would feel it, physically feel like, oh shit, this is stupid. And then maybe I would stop dancing, and I would pretend to like get a drink and like tie my shoe and just be like, okay. Like, you know, I would see that I would adjust what I was doing based on a look. I would adjust my light. I would stop. That look was enough. And guess what? That went right back to childhood, because sometimes, what did we say with our parents? Sometimes our parents only had to give us a look, and then we knew that we were too much, or we were acting out, right? Wow. Some of you said that my mama only had to give me a look, and I knew I was about to get it. So now you see why certain looks in society with people that you don't even recognize trigger you. Makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. I'm doing too much, even from a stranger. But then you have to ask yourself, do I give a damn what this fucking stranger thinks? Am I doing too much? Is this hurting anybody? Is me dancing the mall doing anything harm? You have to ask yourself those questions. And so I would stop, and I would ask myself those questions, and I would say no. And then guess what? I would keep doing it. I would keep doing it. I would keep doing it. I would say, no, you got to fight this. You still care. You care too much. You care too much. This is what I would say in my head. But these are not the things that you want to admit to people out loud. But it's the truth. And so I would go through and I would keep doing it. And then like I used to just be kind of like this. And then I started doing this. If you guys scroll on my videos, if you scroll enough, you'll see them. I'm going to start posting them again. I started doing it well out. And then like at the thing, I just start doing it. Hey. And then guess what? Some people would be like this. Hey. And some people would join right in. Some people would join right in. So this was the experiment. Some people would be this, feel weird. And then some people, it gave them an opportunity to let loose. I gave them permission to do it in a space where we're not supposed to be dancing because I was the one who was brave enough to do it first. So then, because they see me dancing, then they're like, oh, hey, they don't even know what I'm listening to. I have headphones on and they're just sitting here looking crazy. They're dancing to me. They don't even know what the music is, but they're just matching my frequency. They don't need to hear the music. They just see this person that is living their life, that is brave enough to dance in a mall where I guess we're not supposed to be dancing. And then that allowed them a permission for that, even for that millisecond, even for those 2 seconds, they got to do this too. So you see what I provided without even trying? I provided a safe space for someone to let loose, even for a minute, and maybe that sticks with them. But then guess what? I kept doing it and I kept doing it and I kept doing it around the world. I did it in Colombia. I did it in Peru. I did it in Europe. I did it in Mexico. And I have friends all over the world now that I know I could go right back to certain restaurants because I stayed every day and I did it every day. And I know right now to this day, I can go back to certain restaurants in Mexico. I can go back to certain places in Guatemala. I can go back to certain places in Peru. And all I have to do is just do this. And they're going to say, oh, it's already happened. I've been back to Peru twice since. And they've been, oh, you're back. How did they remember me? They see thousands of hundreds of people, tourists all the time. Why did they remember me? We don't even speak the same language. Because the energy doesn't lie. And you don't need to speak the same language to dance. And so because I couldn't communicate in Colombia all the way, I mean, I know a little something. I picked up a lot of Spanish, actually. It took 5 years. But because I couldn't fluently communicate in Peru and Guatemala, the only way that I knew how to share my love and joy and my appreciation for their beautiful country was to dance. That's what I knew. And so I have videos of me dancing with different people that I met all around the world. And it's just beautiful. And it was all because I was brave enough to say, I love dancing. Dancing has always been something that has brought so much joy. When I was little, both my parents worked at a high school and a middle school. And my dad had to bring me as a chaperone. My dad was chaperoning for the middle school students. And I was in elementary school at the time. And he was like, come on, Kristen, get your dress on. You gotta come to the dance with me. I'm going to let you roam around. All the teachers will keep an eye on you. Everybody knows I'm the teacher's daughter. Everybody knows. You know that. If you have a teacher as a parent, you know when you go to the school, people know you. And so my dad takes me there, and then all of a sudden he sees this big crowd. And my dad told me, he was like, oh, not a fight. These middle schoolers are so rambunctious. Are you kidding me? And he piles through, and then as he gets closer, he hears, go Kristen, go Kristen, go Kristen. And who it is? Kristen, the youngest person at the dance. I was in like kindergarten, first grade, with all these 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, which felt like crazy back then. You know, it's like you look at it now and you're like, oh my God, these look like grown ass men at the time. I'm right here in the middle. Go Kristen, go Kristen, go Kristen. Yeah, no one was dancing. No one at this middle school dance was dancing. And I said, what's wrong with y'all? Do you not hear this shit? How can you physically stay still? How can you physically stay still when you hear these beautiful melodies? I don't get it. I can't stay still. And then because I couldn't stay still and because I was undiagnosed in ADHD, oh yeah, the music was how I was regulating. The music and dancing is how I stem, you guys. Dancing in public was how I stem. It's how I deal with the feelings that I'm feeling, or if I do feel insecure, if I do feel weird, I stem by dancing in public. I always have. And because no one talked about that in the 90s, and I'm a little black girl, I'm not going to get diagnosed because of the statistics around that. And if you know, you know. And I think I'm on the spectrum a little bit too. I don't even know about that, but the ADHD for sure. I've always been this way. Go Kristen, go Kristen. And because I'm a Leo moon, and because I didn't know about that back then, I'm a Leo moon, I love it. I'm supposed to have the eyes on me, not because I need attention all the time, but because people are supposed to be watching me live in my truth, and it gives them permission to do the same. I am meant to have that. That's why I am a Leo moon. But I've always thought that my confidence and my ability to be the first one up, people would be threatened by it. Why? Oh, here we go. Kristen's always telling this. I like entertaining people. I like it. I enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy getting the party started. I like bringing people together. That's why I did it in my family, because my family was so disconnected and unhappy and always arguing. So I learned at a young age, if I can bring people together by laughter, my family loves comedy, then at least we can have this one moment where I'm telling a joke. And if I have to, orchestrate it, at least this one moment where mom and dad and sister were all just laughing. For one moment, can I remember my family in a happy light? For 1 second, can we all get along and just love each other? Just for 1 second, can I feel what that feels like for mom and dad to be smiling and laughing? And so I would try to create the scenarios all the time. And that followed me in adulthood. I tried to create the scenarios, and I was always the one telling jokes. I was. And some of it did come because I wanted attention, because when I was upset, my dad didn't have the space for me. But if I was telling him a joke, oh, he loved it, and he wanted me to tell other people. So my dad didn't have the space, and my mom didn't have the space for my pain. But when I came to tell a joke, and because I was really funny at a young age, they were like, no, your jokes are actually really fucking funny for how young you are. Tell that joke to my friend. So now, I mean, it's not the direct attention that I want from mom and dad, but it's some attention. It feels good. And they actually think I'm funny enough that they want me to tell jokes to their friends. Finally, I feel some type of validation. You see? So then that followed me into adulthood. And then I always felt like I had to entertain. And I always felt like I had to tell jokes. And I always felt like I had to be the center of attention, because I was really still starved from just being seen. Truly, though. So then it did become part of my persona. And then I did feel tired, because guess what? I'm not always wanting to be funny all the time. I don't always want to be standing up and doing this. And then it felt like a chore, because my friends were always so used to it. So then the one few times where I would go to the parties and just want to just chill on the couch, they'd be like, Kristen, what's wrong? Kristen, what's wrong? Kristen, what's wrong? Kristen, tell the joke. Kristen, do this. And then it started to feel resentful, where I'm like, I just want to sit and chill like everybody else. I don't want to fucking tell the joke. And when you tell me to tell the joke, it puts me on the spot, and it's not even funny, because I'm just doing it because you want me to. Sometimes I have to be in this flow on my own. I got to be in that heightened state on my own. It's like hard, like when someone just tells you to dance. I don't want to do that all the time. I want to do it when I'm really feeling it, not on command, not for your entertainment, not because you can't handle these other deeper sides of me. Actually, I'm really sad today, and it would be nice if you could hold space for me. Well, we're just trying to keep things light. I know. Okay. Back to my role. And that is the life that I lived for so long. Because I really didn't have friends that could have the capacity for the inner world that I really had. I didn't know how much depth and what was in here. And so I forced myself to be on the surface with other people so that I could be relatable and have friends and, belong. But I was always wanting more. I was always feeling unfulfilled in my friendships. Even at a very young age, I've always known that I've wanted to have deeper conversations and just go deeper. And at the level of depth that I was at in middle school and high school, I was the friend that people went to at the level of depth that I was at that time. I was the friend that people went to, and they're like, hey, me and my mom or this. I was the friend that would get the real different sides of people. Oh, I'm never like this around other people, but like you. Yeah, and I never realized, how come people feel so? I didn't know that was people feeling safe with me. I didn't know with those terms, these terms that we have now. I didn't have those terms in the 90s. Oh, it's people feel safe with me. That's what it is. Oh. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to blow up on you. I may get triggered and I may need to walk away from it for a second, but I really do want to be better. And I know that I can't be better if I'm not open to feedback. Have you ever thought about having that conversation with a friend? Is that something that you've ever thought about having, so that you can know maybe some of the blind spots that you have in your character that you have a lot of shame around because you know they exist, but then when someone points it out, it makes it real? That's why you get so triggered. I have, and it was really uncomfortable, and it made me feel like shame. And but then it gave me an opportunity to bring the shame into the light and to give myself grace and to say, I understand why I was this way, because I was raised by someone who was the same. I was raised by someone who didn't take accountability. So those essentially were the tools that my dad gave me, that when someone calls you out or someone tries to make you hold yourself accountable or hold you accountable, that you deflect and you gaslight and you yell and you change the topic. And so I did that subconsciously. And so it really, once I became aware that I was doing that, it made me feel a lot of shame and guilt and all these negative feelings, because at my core, I don't want people to feel this way. I don't want to impact people in this way. And so the fact that I was aware that I was capable of being the same way that my dad treated me, it allowed me to have more grace and compassion for my dad. And it allowed me to see that maybe some of the things that my dad was doing was not malicious. Like he wasn't just waking up. He wasn't just waking up and trying to push me and do these things. He really was trying to keep himself safe at any cost. And sometimes that looked like being very verbally abusive. And sometimes that looked like, being invalidating, but it wasn't necessarily coming from a space of I'm consciously choosing to invalidate my daughter. I'm consciously choosing to tear her down. It was, I feel so unsafe with the fact that my daughter sees these parts of me that I don't want anyone to see, these parts of me that I feel so ashamed of, these parts of me that I hate. And the fact that she's speaking about things that lets me know that she sees these parts makes me feel so incredibly in danger that I'm going to say whatever I need to say in the moment to feel safe, even if that is at the expense of my own flesh and blood. That is how trauma works. That is how PTSD works. Sometimes it's just the person's words and the fact that they see these not so beautiful sides of you. It sends a neurological reaction in our nervous system, in our minds, that, oh my gosh, they just saw this dark shadow part of me. And if they see these parts of me, I will no longer be able to manipulate them into seeing me a certain way. I will no longer be able to control the perception of how they see me. I will no longer be able to control the narrative. I will lose control. That is the biggest fear out of being seen, is losing control on how people see you. You care a lot about how you are perceived. That is why you get defensive when someone points something out about you that is not beautiful. You care a lot more than you think you do. How are we feeling, guys? I feel like I have been going in these downloads. What did we even talk about? Wow. The music and the sound just really breaks up the energy for a second. How are we feeling? How are we doing? It's been about 2 hours into our coaching session. If you're just joining, we started at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. We have about 30 minutes of sound healing in the dark, and it starts really mellow and calm. And I'm really trying to teach you guys to wake up with intention. I'm trying to teach you guys to wake up with a plan. I'm trying to teach you guys to wake up with truth and calmness, to be able to learn how to regulate your nervous system so that you can get clear on how you're feeling at the start of the day, so that you no longer project your feelings onto other people because you don't know how you feel or you're irritated. I want you to wake up and meditate and be in your mind and be in your body and let go of the phone. And I know we're on the phone and we're waking up with intention. It's a difference if you're waking up because you want to do a sound healing that's going to help you center and ground and then go into some coaching, versus just scrolling, doom scrolling. This is the same thing if you were doing your Calm app or if you were doing some type of podcast that you knew was good for you. So if you know that I'm doing this every morning, Monday through Thursday at 6:30 a.m., you can program this into your morning routine. And if you normally wouldn't get up that early, why don't you set the intention to wake up a little bit earlier for yourself before you have to go give yourself to your kids and give yourself to your job and your partner? I think that you should give a few moments to yourself to start the day so that you don't feel constantly burnt out all the time. So you want to wake up maybe 30 minutes earlier than you normally would, and sit in that quietness before everybody wakes up and demands all of your energy and time. Take some deep grounding breaths. Listen to some of the sound healing. Allow yourself to set the day. Today is going to be amazing. I am going to focus on being true to myself and being honest. And I'm going to start right now. How do I feel today? Well, I feel a little anxious. I feel a little angry. I know that I'm working through things with my inner child. I know I've been doing a lot of healing. So I have been feeling a little less patient lately, and that's okay. I don't need to be walking around super smiley today. I'm allowed to be how I am today. So today at work, I'm not going to be rude to anybody. I'm not going to project this, but I am very aware now that I just did this little meditation that I'm pretty on edge today. So I'm going to articulate that to my team so that way I don't feel like I have to people please and smile, but also I'm not being snappy and passive aggressive because no one knows that I'm feeling this way. I want to be more mature in the way that I show up and handle things. I want people to treat me the way I would want to be treated. So do I like when people snap at me at work, especially when I have nothing to do with it? No. What I would say if someone snapped at me is, I would say, damn, you don't have to get an attitude. All you have to do is let me know. Oh, okay. So can you take that same advice when it's you? Okay, so now that we've gotten aware of how we feel, we can go into the office and say, hey guys, I know that I'm usually chatty, but today I'm not feeling it. I have some things that I'm working through internally that I don't really want to talk about. But for today, what I need is just a little bit of silence and quiet. I'm going to get my work done, do the things I do. And if you need to ask me something, don't be scared. But I just want to let you know, this is where I'm at. Some people feel like they don't need to explain that to people, but it also, that is your character too. How you come off to people, how you react to people, that is your character. So if you do care about how you're being perceived, then just be real with people. Because if you're not real and you have this attitude and you're walking around like this chip on your shoulder and everybody owes you something because of something that you're going through internally, then yeah, it is my right to assume or make an assumption that you project and that you don't know how to handle your emotions and that you take your shit out on other people. Can I give you grace because I've done that? Am I the type of person that's not going to judge you on that one interaction? Yeah, that's me. Not everyone's like that. Does that matter to you? I don't know. Does it? Do you care? I don't know. I can't tell you what you care about. I also don't give a damn if you do perceive me in that way. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Where are you at with it? That's what I'm saying. If you care so much about how people perceive you, then just be you, because some of the characters and some of the behaviors aren't you. They're not a good representation of who you are. It's a representation of the wounded self and the part of you that doesn't know how to communicate openly and honestly. So if that's who you want to continue portraying yourself to be, then keep being that. But the way that you integrate into someone who's more mature, someone who doesn't project their shit, and someone who can still coexist in society even though they're upset, and not everyone has to feel your wrath because you're upset, then you're going to start communicating more even when you feel like you don't have to. It's because it's for you. It's work for you. It's not because you owe anybody an explanation. It's because you are trying to get more comfortable using your voice. So if you have opportunities to do so, you should take it. That's all. Because you want to be a better person. You want to be more mature. So the only way to do it is not think about what you would do. It's actually being faced with the situations and doing it. How do you not care? Because you affirm yourself. Hey, I know who I am at my core. I know that I am a beautiful person, but I also know that today I lost my patience, and the people who know me know that there's more sides of me, and the people who I want in my life are not going to judge me from one instance. And people who have done the work on themselves know that we all have bad days and they can give grace. Now, if you see a pattern of me constantly blowing up, then there's something, okay, maybe this is who they are and they're still working through it, and maybe I don't want to be around this person. But if someone chooses to judge me and say, I don't want to deal with you after one time and not giving me any grace that maybe they're going through something, then those are not the type of people that I really want close to me, because I give people that grace. I give people those benefits of doubt until you show me otherwise, and I deserve to have the same. Why is it fair for me to give you these chances and give you the benefit, and then the one time that I'm out of character, you're done with me? I don't want to be on eggshells like that. I don't want to be in relationships where people don't give me any grace, but I'm always giving them grace. So that's how I decided that it's easy not to care about these things anymore, because these are not the people that I care about. Why am I giving so much energy to someone that I feel like I have to only be one thing? That's going backwards. That's me going back to the old version of me. So maybe this person came into my life as a test to see if I'm going to go back and jump through hoops, or if I'm going to know my worth and know that even in my bad behavior or whatever I'm doing, I can hold myself accountable and still love myself. You know, that's why you start not to care. Because of the love that you have for yourself and the honesty that you have, that you're not going to get it right all the time. But does that mean that you're not worthy of love because you make a mistake? No, that's not what it means to me. But we all have our own meanings to these words. And whatever meaning that you give to people is how you're going to feel. For me, when someone rejects me, the meaning is that I'm not enough. That's not the meaning anymore. It used to be when someone said, I don't want to be friends with you, it must be I'm not enough. That's the meaning that I used to give to that. Now it must mean that we're out of alignment, or maybe there is something that I did that rubbed in the wrong way, but am I doing it on purpose? Is this just who I am? Is it just, are they just irritated with my spirit? Did they give me a chance to fix it and talk to me about it? Or did they just cut me off? Okay, well, they just cut me off. Is that someone that I really want in my life? Someone that doesn't even give me an opportunity to change, to just cut me off? Okay, maybe they're still working through their avoidance shadow. Okay, it's a test. It's for you to evaluate, do I want this? Not just to go into overdrive, jumping through hoops, trying to prove to them why you are the best friend. I don't have to prove that shit to you. Anybody who has stuck around with me long enough has seen what kind of friend I am. Even in the moments where I've dropped the ball, I'm still an amazing friend. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm not going to let you project this pressure on me to be perfect anymore. So if I start to feel that in this relationship, I'm going to take that as a sign that this is not the relationship for me. And maybe that's because the person has expectations of perfection within themselves, so they project that onto you. No, you need to heal still. I'm not going to fall into this because you think that this is the right way. No, this is not how it is for me. You're projecting how you want to be. You're projecting how you feel about yourself and thinking that I should be the same standard that you hold yourself. But I don't hold myself to the same standard that you hold myself. I hold myself to high standards, but not perfection. And that's the difference. So I'm not going to let you make me feel bad or that I'm not a good friend because I made a mistake. That's how you treat yourself, and that's not how you're going to treat me. I can discern between what's going on here. You see how this shit doesn't work? You see how you can stop taking it personal when you understand? Now you're projecting, and that's okay. Your way is not the right way all the time. Your way is not the only way all the time. Your way is not the best way. Maybe it's working for you, but clearly it's not if you're projecting it onto me. If you were okay with how you were, you'd be able to own it on your own. You wouldn't want me to do things at the same level as you because it makes you feel some type of way. You want me to do everything like you. But then when you see me being successful doing it a different way, it makes you feel upset. But it wasn't perfect and you still made mistakes and you're still doing it. I know, because I'm aware that no one is perfect. That is you that has to come to terms with that. That's why you're doing nothing. Because if it's not perfect, then you procrastinate because you can't put anything out into the world that's less than perfect, I guess. So then you don't put out anything because you know that you're inherently flawed. Isn't that crazy? But the perfectionism is a thing that you think keeps you safe from doing anything, because you think because you have such high standards and qualities within yourself that you don't want to put anything else out that is subpar. And so, yes, I am waiting to do enough research, and I'm waiting to get enough money, and I'm waiting to get this and that before I can get started. And it's not because I'm scared, it's because I want to do things the right way. You try to convince yourself of like your standard, and this is why you're not doing it, or really it's just a tactic on why you're not doing what you want to do, because there's nothing perfect. And there's podcasts that have been done on equipment that is $2 that has been successful, and then they've evolved and gotten better equipment, versus people who've started with the whole shabam and it's never went anywhere because they really haven't gotten to the root of it. And the root of it is that they really are scared of failing in front of people. Whereas the other person has gotten past that fear. And even though they're not in a place to do everything perfect and right, they're still doing it. So who's better, who's worse? I don't know. Who's getting further ahead in their journey? The person who has the best equipment who's doing nothing, or the person who has shitty equipment but's actually trying? Oh, okay. I don't know why some of the downloads make me laugh. I think it's just the way that I do it, because I am very like a smart ass, and I can be very condescending, and I'm very honest about that. I know I got that from my father. I can be very condescending. It's not what I say, it's how I say, and it's always gotten me in trouble, and people make me aware of it now, and I'm trying to work on it. But it's the way I say it. I know I can be very condescending. When I tell you my father could cut your ass up with his words, whoo! His looks and the way he would say it would cut your ass up. God damn, who am I? The way my dad would be talking to me sometimes, God damn, woo! But I picked that up, and it's not something that I'm proud of all the time, but sometimes I do like it when you are giving somebody a verbal, articulate tongue lashing that they need. Ooh, it's fun. It's fun to be able to do. I don't have to use no cuss words. I don't have to call you out of your name. I can just speak the truth in a way that is so confronting and so penetrating that you're just like, well, that's why you're ugly. And then you walk away because you ain't got shit to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to degrade you and talk about your hair. I don't have to play on the obvious insecurities that you're trying to run from. I can just hit you right at the root. I can just hit you right at the root. Right at the core. And you can ignore it on the surface, but you're going to go home and lay your head on the pillow and be like, God damn, she fucking saw me. That bitch, what the fuck? She was right. God damn, I can't stand that bitch. She was right. I'll never let her though. I never tell her though. I never let her know though. I'm never gonna let her know that she was right though. I ain't gonna let her know. I ain't gonna let her know that she got me. Yeah, she got me. I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the shit that she said on. Yeah, I'm in the shower thinking about it. Yeah, I'm eating dinner thinking about it. Yeah, I can't sleep thinking about it. Yeah, I woke up thinking about it. Yeah, brush my teeth thinking about it. Yeah, because I'm planting seeds, bitch. I'm planting seeds, and you know it, and you can't unhear it, and you can't undo it. You can pretend on the surface, but you can't unhear. I'm planting seeds. That's why that's why I'm speaking the truth, because it may not do it right here. It may not do anything right now, but you can't unhear it. And you know the truth about yourself when you lay your head on that pillow. And now you know that someone else knows. So maybe I need to take this mask off because it's not hiding as much as I thought it was. I was just keeping people around me that were committed to not seeing as well. But as soon as I get out in this real world, oh shit. As soon as I get out in this real world where people have actually done some work, and I'm not in my little bubble of toxic trauma bonding where we're all committed to not seeing together. That's why it works. Because as soon as one person says, hey guys, I think we're drinking too much every weekend. Oh, we don't want to hang out with you anymore. What's wrong with you? You're weird. We don't want to, hey guys, I think we are drinking too much. I think that we're drinking too much because we're just avoiding, you're weird. We don't want to hang out with you more. And then all of a sudden you're not getting invites. And then all of a sudden you see on the story that they're all going out drinking without you. What happened, guys? Hello? Why didn't I get the invite? Oh, we're going out drinking. I know you said that we drink too much and it's weird. I know you're just in a different place right now. And we're just, yeah, they don't want it. You're getting too close. They don't want it. You're getting too close. We liked the fact that we all just wanted to drink together to avoid our problems. And now that you want to talk about shit, you're just not as fun to be around. It's more sobering to be around you. I know, that's the point. You know? And so people surround themselves around that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Subconsciously. People, that's why it's called trauma bonding. But Yeah, when someone sees it, when someone sees it, you can't unsee it. And then that's when you realize, oh my gosh, I'm not really hiding as much as I thought I was. People do see me. And that's when the insecurities become even bigger, because you thought you were doing a really good job pretending to be confident all this time. You thought you were really doing a good job pretending to this. You were just around people that weren't mirroring back to you. But then as soon as you said you wanted to elevate, all of a sudden a Kristen was dropped into your life. All of a sudden you said, I'm just tired of this. I'm ready to elevate and I'm ready to like be better. And then all of a sudden you met me down the street. I was dancing like this. You just said that. You said it. You said, I want to be better. I want to grow. And then all of a sudden, in a flash of an eye, here I come. Hey, I'm dancing and you see me. And then we start talking. I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? What's up? And you're just talking and you're just like, nothing. I'm just going through it. And then all of a sudden, I just say something. I can tell that you are really tapped in soul. I can tell that you really are an old soul. You can feel it. Anybody who can't see you is asleep. Okay? Anybody who can't see you is asleep. You can tell how deep you are. You can tell how emotionally intelligent you are. You just need to be around it. These are the type of conversations that I have with complete strangers. I read energy. So if you're going to stop me, if we're supposed to be like meeting each other, I'm going to tell you what I see. I'm not going to just play this awkward shit with you. I'm not. I understand that every interaction is an opportunity to enlighten, to pour into somebody, or to just do what you want to do. Every opportunity you have a choice. And so I choose the opportunities where strangers are naturally gravitated towards me, or I'm naturally gravitated towards them, to speak life into them, because I know that I may be the only person to see them in a long time. I may be the only person to not only see them, but to speak on what I see. And so I don't take it lightly, these random interactions that I have. I'm working. I'm on the clock. I notice it. I know it. I will go out and I'll be doing my thing and I'm like, okay, I know I'm putting myself out there, putting myself out. All right, I'm here. I know that my energy is infectious. I know this. I'm aware of it. I'm not trying for it to be, but I know that it is. I know that it is. And so I'll be walking and doing my thing, and then someone will just come up to me. Hey, and just random. It'll be random. Hey, yeah, I just love your energy. Gosh, yeah. Oh man, you remind me of myself back in the day. I used to be just always with it. And then of course, what am I going to say? Well, why'd you stop? Duh, that was the whole reason, is for them to say that one thing and then for me to question that. That was the whole point. Oh yeah, I love it. I used to be so like this back in the day. Well, why'd you stop? Is there like an age limit on when you're supposed to stop vibing and dancing? And then, work and things. Okay, you're going to let work and all this stuff. That's more important to you than vibing. You can't dance and do work. Well, yeah, you just get busy when you get my age. I'm like, well, how old do you think I am? Oh, you're probably like what, 20, 24, 25, 40, about to be 40 this year. Okay, 40. Yeah, no, age is not just a number. You're choosing to let age be a number. Yes, we have to grow up, and yes, we got to do things and we have to be responsible, but you can be responsible and make money doing things that are making you happy. You're choosing to do this. And this is the narrative that you've succumbed to. You are okay with saying, yeah, work and this. That's your narrative that you're okay with. I'm not okay with saying that. I'm not okay with saying that. And so because I'm not okay with saying that, I'm making sure that I'm doing things that I need to do to not say that. And you have the choice too. You're making a choice to settle. God, geez, I just saw you did. I didn't know it was going to be all this. Yeah, I did though. I did, because why are you telling me this? I'm a random stranger. Why are you feeling the need to tell me these things if you didn't want to hear the truth? You do want to hear the truth, or you would have stayed quiet. You opened up the door for a reason. Because deep down, you do want someone to see you, and you do need someone to support you, and you do need someone to see the things that you don't see within yourself, and you do need someone to say, no, your writing is actually good. Stop just saying it's a hobby. Your writing is fucking phenomenal. I really think that people would enjoy your books. You need to hear that. No, this is not just some stupid rap. Like, this is fucking, are you kidding me? Look how you put these metaphors together. Look at the analogies that you use. Look at the references. This is not just some basic ass shit. Are you kidding me? People need to hear this. That is the type of energy that you needed to have around you when you were younger. And sometimes it takes a complete stranger to make you realize, what the fuck am I doing? Who knows what happened with that guy? Maybe he went and sat in the car and said, why did I stop fucking dancing? Maybe me just saying that and not just going around with everything and just making everybody comfortable, or just not saying what's really on my mind. Maybe that's exactly what people need. For me to be that ruffling of the feathers. You know how many times I've been out at bars now recently with who I am, and I've gone out and I've talked to people, and men have tried to talk to me, and then I say, okay, let's talk. And then when they say something, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go. If you say something, I'm going to go. I'm not going to just keep it up here just because we're here. If we're talking and we're getting to know each other, especially if you're hitting on me, especially if you want to date me, I'm going to start from the beginning. Are you deep? Can we talk about this? Or are you uncomfortable? And there was this one guy, and he was just kept wanting to tell me the watch. Yeah, you see this watch I just got? Yeah, I have my own business, and I have this. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I wanted to talk about something else and these other things and start going in these conversations. He's like, yeah, gosh, you're so a little heavy. Like, man, you like to, you're deep. And I was like, yeah, you're getting to know me. This is me. And then his friend was kind of peeping it, and his friend was like being respectful because this guy was the one who talked to me first, and they're friends, that rule or whatever. But the other friend was peeping, he was picking up on more of the things that I was talking about. And he was getting the fact that I didn't give a fuck that this guy had the watch and had the thing. I want to talk more about your character, your heart. Tell me where you're at in your journey. How do you treat people? The conversation. And then his friend was just like, nah, I feel you, like when it comes to this and this. And then his friend was able to match me energetically, emotionally with what I was talking about. He wasn't just trying to sell me on these arbitrary things, these surface level things that men think women want all the time, which obviously I want someone who is secure and stable in themselves. And you've established that. Now, what else? You told me you got the business. You've shown me the fruits of your labor. Here's the watch. Here is the tangible proof that you are making good money. We've established that. Now, what else? No. Okay, there is nothing else, or at least you don't want to show me right now, and that's okay, but I'm just bored. For me to be on a first date with you, there was so many conversations for me to get to the point that I actually said that I wanted to spend 2 or 3 hours confined with you. You know that, right? Before we even got to the date, there were several conversations on the phone to see if you're someone that's even interesting to me. It's not just me being interesting for you. It's not just me being a pretty face for you. It's not just me making you look good. What do you do for me? How do you make me feel? What stimulation am I getting from you mentally, physically, intellectually? I'm making my own money right now. And not that I don't want to build together and not that I don't need anybody. I need a partner. I'm definitely not one of those women that says, I don't need a man. I don't need nobody. I'm not that. I definitely know that I want somebody, need somebody, feel that I want somebody to build with. I'm way better in a team. I am. I'm way better when I'm in a teamwork. Oh my gosh, when I get into something and I feel safe and I feel like we're building something together, oh my God, I love cleaning more together. I love doing the grocery shopping. I love doing more of the mundane things with someone else who also has common goals and wants to keep the house clean and wants to do stuff together. Let's be a fucking team. I'll do the dishes and you cook, and then maybe next week you cook and I'll do the dishes. I love shit like that. Literally, I thrive in environments like that. I truly do. So I have to ask the questions, and I have to allow ourselves to be in these positions to see if that's what you are for me. It's not just me here for you. And I think, especially being a woman, for me, we're so conditioned to be everything that everyone else wants us to be, and not look at our own needs, and not look at our own pleasure, and not look at what makes us happy, and not look at what it is that we really want. And it's okay for, men to say, oh no, she is not pretty enough. Her booty's not this. But then it looks like we're shallow when we say, I don't like that big ass beer belly. We're shallow. I don't like that big ass gut. And I don't like that you're balding. But yes, but I'm supposed to be physically attracted too, the same way that you wouldn't even dare even talk to this woman because of the... I don't think that's how it should be. I think that we should love people for who they are, but I also think that we need to stop pretending that as women that we don't have a physical preference either. That we are not supposed to be physically, that it's okay for us to not be physically attracted, but then we're able to see the qualities and beauties in them, and then we can just fall for them because their personality is awesome. No, I have settled for that too much. I want to look at you and be like, God, I want to genuinely feel it, like, and I know that it's not all the looks for me, because I've had people that were physically very, very attractive, very everything I want, but they didn't have nothing here. And I was just like, damn, like, you're really, really beautiful. But like, I'm fucking bored. And like, it's making me not attracted. You're actually not even looking as attractive to me anymore, because we can't ever have any conversations past this. And so then I noticed how much, like, I need it. I need all of it. And there's no perfect partner, but there is someone perfect for me in the imperfections, even with their imperfections. But physically, I do want to look at my partner and be like, yes, I want to feel that. I want to feel that when I look at them and be like, And I know that's not just because they are physically beautiful. It's because I feel safe with them. I trust them. I know that they are just about me. Like there's all these other factors that are going to play into that. But just physically being attracted to them is something that's really important to me and something that I've always just settled for because I know that I have the ability to love anyone. I can find the beauty in anyone. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how skinny, fat. I don't care. I can find beauty in every single person. But that doesn't mean that I have to just fall for every person. Of course, like there's going to be people who really like me and I will like them, but not to the extent where I want them to be my partner. And I had to heal the part of feeling bad that like just because someone who was a great person was choosing me, that I have to choose them back. Like we feel bad, like, and because you can see like these qualities, okay, they have these beautiful qualities. Okay, but there's something that's still missing. That's not a full body fuck yes. And if it's not a full body fuck yes, it's a no. If it's not a full body fuck yes, it's a no. I am not going to get married to somebody unless it's a full body fuck yes. I want to feel it in every essence of my being. That is one of the biggest things that I've asked God, the universe, source. Please, when it is the person that is for me, please let there be no confusion. Please give me absolute clarity. Please let that saying, when you know, be something that I feel so deeply within my essence of my being that I never have to question it, because that is something, I guess maybe as a Sagittarius who may be having some fears of commitment, I don't want to commit to the wrong person, the wrong thing. And I know that there's several people that can be the right person. It's just a person who's willing to grow with you, that can do the things, that want to do it, but also you have to be attracted to them in more ways than just one. Okay? Okay. You got to be attracted to them physically, but then you also have to be attracted to them emotionally, because the physical is going to change, and you have to be attracted to them intellectually and mentally. You have to be attracted to them morally. There's so many things that we're overlooking, and we just want someone to stand next to us. We just want to say so badly that we're in a relationship because we think our proximity to success comes with being in a relationship, because we've been sold that fucking lie, when some people would be way more successful right now if they weren't married to the person they are married to. Put a heart in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. There's people that would be way more successful right now had they had never gotten married to the person they married and did the things that they did, and they were on their own right now. That is the truth. So stop with this narrative that you can't do it by yourself and you can't do certain things. That is not true. And that's always putting your happiness in the hands of someone else. That's always putting your success in the hands of someone else. Always keeping you yearning and looking outside of yourself to finally feel complete, instead of recognizing that you're complete right now. You're complete right now. You just want to coexist with someone. Hi, Berlin. I love Berlin. I've been there and I loved it. It was so fun. And I went out dancing and raving and raving. Berlin is the place to go. Hey, and it has some good food, and I love schnitzel, and it was delicious. And I love Germany. I really do. I love Germany. I've been to Frankfurt. I haven't been to Munich. I've been to Frankfurt, Berlin, and somewhere else. But it's a beautiful, beautiful city. I went to Watergate, but I don't think they have Watergate anymore. I don't think they have that club anymore, but I went into Watergate and Suicide Circus and some other ones. Y'all got some crazy places in Berlin. All right, anyway, you see how quick it is, the ADHD? Don't talk about traveling, because I've been to like 50 countries and I love it. Yeah, I know, it's all closed. They closed a lot of places. And Kit Kat, I think, is closed too. I love it. That's one of the things I love most about traveling, is like, look, someone just came in and said, hello from Germany. And because I've been there, I can relate and just talk. That is one of the, it's just, I'm so glad that in my early 20s, I was not so fixated on getting married and having children. If that is your path and you love it, that's awesome. If you like it, I love it. But for me, I wanted to see the world. And so I said, listen, I went to like 40 or 50 countries in a like 5-year span. I got bit by the travel bug. Big. And so, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that I know that you guys want to do independent of a relationship. I know, but I also know how much you fantasize about traveling with your love. I know that a lot of you guys have these fantasies of traveling the world and being happy and falling in love in different cities. It's been one of my biggest desires is to travel with the love of my life and just be happy and doing all the things. Like, yes, and I know it's going to happen. But guess what? I'm also really grateful that I fell in love with myself in these cities. I'm so glad that I was in Paris. I was so glad that I was in London by myself with friends too. I was so glad that I went to Morocco. I'm so happy that I went to Iceland. I'm so happy and grateful that I went to where else have I been? So many different places. Ireland and Scotland. I'm so grateful that I've been to Australia. I'm so grateful that I've been to New Zealand. I get to say all that. And now when it's time where I'm feeling like, okay, I'm really thinking about family and I'm thinking about slowing down and settling down, I don't feel like I'm missing out and I'm feeling like I didn't get to do these things. No, I get to have it all. But I also had to sacrifice that I'm not the youngest mom. And I guess I've had to sacrifice that I haven't been married for 10 years already and that I've been single and in relationships, but I don't take it back. I can have both. And I wasn't ready to be a mother 10 years ago. I was definitely not ready to be a mother 10 years ago. The way I would have just perpetuated the trauma. And so I'm glad that my story looks how it is. And instead of saying, I'm behind and I'm so late and I'm this and that, I can say I'm right on time because I don't want to just be a mother. I want to be an emotionally intelligent, aware, present mother. That's who I want to be. And I wasn't that 10 years ago. I wasn't that 6 years ago. I'm 39. I just turned 39 in December. I'm turning 40 this year. Hey, hey, I'm turning 40 this year. Hey, hey, still twerking. Oh, sorry. I'm not sorry. Yeah. And so it's just, my birthday's December 19th. My birthday's December 19th. And so it's just getting better because that's what I'm saying. As you get older, you give less fucks and you're just sitting here like, why am I over here? I'm not doing this. I'm definitely not jumping through this. And this is why I'm trying to talk to my younger teens and my 20-year-olds, especially when it comes to dating. You need to be yourself. The men are going to love you and respect you the most when you don't put up with the shit. I'm telling you, when you're a pushover and you jump through hoops, it makes you so unattractive to men. I can't tell you enough. You think that they want you to do everything, do all this stuff. It's not. No. When you have your own mind and you're like, fuck that, that's when they're usually like, oh my gosh, oh, she's not gonna let me. That's when it usually is. But when you're that pushover, I'll do anything and I'll do all that stuff, they lose respect for you and they're just waiting for the person who respects themselves. I'm trying to tell you, I've done it. I've been the people pleaser. I've been the person who does everything to make the man comfortable. And then they're just like, next, they go off because it's not attractive. Even though I'm attractive and there's certain things, the fact that I did not respect them myself made people not respect me. It just didn't feel good. And so the more that you can say, hey, this is me, and you can step into this with confidence, which a lot of you guys are definitely in a different generation, because I know a lot of the millennials are definitely bridging the gap. So I'm going to toot the horn for the millennials. Okay. Because we doing work. We know what it was like before the internet. We know what it's like afterwards. We know the shit. Okay. We are very special in this journey called life, this generation, because we've seen both sides and we know. And Gen X too. Yes. Gen X and millennials and Gen X. Yeah, it's right there. So, yeah, but a lot of you guys are more and more aware, and it's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I really feel like it's just our spirits, it's our spirits. And that's why you can see people who have a lot of hatred and have a lot of anger look a lot older. And I do think, that is why certain collective of people do age faster, because there's a lot of anger and pain and shame in certain collectives of people. And then certain collective of people have had to become so resilient and find ways to be happy, even in all the suppression and the pain. And so that's why even when we have so much shit, it's like, I still am going to find ways to glow. I'm still going to find ways to shine. Still gonna find ways to glow. Still gonna find ways to shine. We have to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You've been through so much shit and it's like you still have that strength. I come from a very strong lineage. I come from a very, very strong line of ancestors who have been through some real dark, unimaginable, unfathomable. How do you get out of it? And they got out of it. So I'm sitting here with where I'm at, and you think that I'm gonna let you calling me the N-word or you saying this gonna bring me down forever? No, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, I love you and I hope that you heal. And this hate and this anger that you feel has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you and what you've been told and how you've been lied to. And I will no longer let your feelings of me impact how I feel about myself. myself. I'm going to rise above. I'm going to smile. I'm going to love people. I'm going to treat people right still. I'm going to be kind to people. And I'm not going to stoop to this level of hatred, especially not towards myself anymore. I've taken so much time to love myself, and I'm not going to let someone who does not love themselves bring me back down to that frequency, because misery loves company. And I don't hate you because you hate me. Nope. I love you, but I'm just not going to be around you, and I'm just not going to deal with you. But I don't hate you. I don't hate you. That's what ages you. That's what makes you look old. That's what makes you look so tired. I know who I am. You can't tell me who I am. You can't tell me who I am. You can't tell me who I am. I don't care if you've met every single Black person on the planet. You still haven't met me, and you still can't tell me who I am. Every day. Every day these come out, okay? All right, we're going to pull a couple cards. All right, I'm going to pull some cards, and then we're going to open it up for personal readings today. It is 7 minutes for $20. The list will open in a moment, but let me see if we're really tapping in. But put a heart in the chat before I even get to the oracle cards. Put a heart in the chat if you feel like these messages have been for you today. Put a heart in the chat if you feel like there's something that I said today that was directly for you today. I'm really trying to gauge these channeling abilities of mine. Okay. All right. We resonating. We in here. We resonating. We in here. Wanted to let you guys know. Have a shadow work inner child workshop, a virtual workshop at the end of January. It is January 31st. If you would like to sign up, please go to my website and let me know if anybody has checked it out and gone to it. Make sure that you can get to it, because some of you said that the link wasn't working, and I just want to make sure. So hi Mahogany, hi Austin, hi Leo, hi Kamita. Hello. How are you guys doing? That's So Raven, one of my favorite shows growing up. Hi Water, hi Tina, hi Lucas, hi Amazing Life. It's so good to see you as always. You've been here for a while. Hi Danny, hi Jen, hi Alicia. How y'all doing? It's so good to see y'all. Hey, hi Ari. It's so good. Thank you for stopping by. That's so Raven. It's the future I can see. That's so Raven. It's this material is me. I don't know if I said the word. That's so Raven. It's the future I can see. I used to love that song. She'd be like this. That's her thing. I'm glad I kind of stare off too, but not so like, I don't see it like her. I just be vibing with it a little bit. Hers is really like stark, like it just be hitting her out of nowhere. I guess sometimes I do that. There are some times where I just be zoning out, and they're like, Kristen, I'm like, stop talking to me. I'm having a That's So Raven. Stop talking to me. You're messing up my That's So Raven. They're like, Kristen, you're zoning out. I'm trying to be like That's So Raven. I be telling people, they're like, gosh. So I'm trying to channel. Stop talking to me. I'm trying to get the. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that's me. I love it. And then who was the other one? Xenon. I used to watch Xenon. I used to watch all those shows. Sister. Remember Sister? They did the remake when they got older, and they did that more grown one. I said, what the hell? It used to be like, Sister. How let me miss ya. And everybody underneath how different we have come to be. Sister. And then all of a sudden, like they got older, it was like, Sister. Oh, wow. It was like the grown one. I said, what the hell is this? Who is this? And then they had TJ, smart guy. He's a smart guy. Do. Smart guy. Smart guy. He's a smart guy. Do. And then they would start. Don't forget that part. Oh yeah, Fresh Prince, I'm sure. Yeah. Days go by is the bigger thing in the family. It's the bigger love in the family. Oh, Lord. You are singing. I think the downloads are coming to you to make more music. You're right, Leo. You're right. You're right. I do feel it. I do. I feel like all of it, even busting out this. Like, why do I keep this completely open all the time? Why do I keep this up? I have not put this away in like 2 years. I feel like I need to have it out. Why do I have this out? Yes. What else? What else is another one? What else is another one? Oh, I used to watch Step by Step sometimes. Step by step, day by day. First time, something, different other way. And people we go, people we stay. You make it happen the second time around. I don't know if that's what she said. But also the commercials too in the 90s. When they say that words are spells and they say that, because why do I still walk around talking about pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time? When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. Why am I doing that? Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Why do I know this shit? Why? Why is it still, they have not had a Bagel Bite commercial in like 15 years. This is crazy. We watched a lot of TV in the 90s. This is too much. At 1-800-STEAMER, Stanley Steamer makes carpets cleaner. Oh, what was the other one? What was that one about like getting back into school? I don't know if this is just a Florida one, but you know those like trade schools, they're like, I'm working for an hourly wage. I went to high school, didn't do great, but I gotta make some cash. 1-800 or something where I'm working at, but I need a degree. I will make a better salary, and now you have to see what college is right from me. I went on the internet, said 1-800 connection. I had something to find out my direction. Now I'm getting my classes online, getting my degree on my own time. What the fuck? These commercials were like 5. People can't, bitch. If you were trying to have the commercial in the 90s right now, bitch, next. That commercial, get to the point, bitch. This is 20 minutes. Can you imagine right now that commercial? Next. You would have been gone. What the fuck was this for? You better tell me in the first. Could you imagine the kids right now having to go back to the commercials? Bitch, what is this for? This thing has been on for 10 minutes. What is it for? What are they selling? What is it? Oh my gosh. I don't know why I remember that song. I thought yesterday, words are spells, especially your lies. I feel like motivating spells from that form my day and make me remember myself and my values. My words are very powerful. You're singing a lot more. I love that, Leo. I love that. Thank you for saying that. You're true. Words are spells. So that's why I'm going to make money. I'm going to do what I need to do. Hey, I'm going to live everything that I want. I get everything that I want. Money comes to me easily. Money comes to me fast. Money loves my company. When money comes, it lasts. Love comes to me easily. Love comes to me fast. Love loves my company. When love comes, it lasts. Peace comes to me easily. Peace comes to me fast. Peace loves my company. When peace comes, it lasts. Joy comes to me easily. Joy comes to me fast. Joy loves my company. When joy comes, it lasts. Where's the spells? Say it. Do whatever you need to do. Make it up, do it, say it, do it all day. I get paid to exist. I get paid to exist. Hey, I get paid to exist. If the rap songs, if we can listen to music and it makes us do these things, then we can make our own music to brainwash ourselves. Literally, I get paid to exist. Hey, I get paid to exist. Hey, I'm going to have Jim Carrey on my podcast. If you weren't here yesterday, that was the newest thing. Jim Carrey is going to be on my podcast. It just hit me. I'm so inspired by him. A lot of my creativity and my craziness and all the phrases and all that stuff comes from him, and the fact that I just love doing it. And he's so inspiring, and he is so smart and intelligent, and he gets it. I think that he would be a perfect guest for my podcast. And it just hit me. And maybe people on here saying, oh my God, this girl's crazy. She thinks that Jim Carrey's going to be on her podcast. But just watch. Wait on it. He is. I'm someone that he would definitely want to talk to. I think that we'll have a lot in common. And I think that he would actually really enjoy talking to me. I do. I think because we're on the same frequency with the ways that we think and the comedy, I feel like I can spend like the first hour just talking about how he's inspired me and going back through different movie montage. And I feel like I'm definitely gonna say, all right, I'm definitely gonna do that shit. So if that's annoying, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it, Jim. We gonna talk about it because you don't know how much you inspired me. You don't know how much. And then we can transition from the comedy and how we both have used that to suppress ourselves from certain ways, and how we both love to make people smile, and how we both use comedy to be truthful, and how he still does it. And and then we're going to talk about the truth, and we're going to talk about different things that are happening in our society that he has known and has access to way before us because of his positioning, and how we're going to talk about all of you guys. Oh my God, I'm literally doing the whole thing. What are you fucking, he's here. He might as well just be here. What do you mean? We're going to talk about it. I love it. This is the next step. And you see, some people are going to think I'm crazy. What are you talking about? Well, you got to be crazy to think about that. You have to. You have to be crazy to think about it. What do you mean? You can't just be normal and average like everyone. And everyone, the average person, thinks that they're never going to meet the person. That's what everyone average. I'm not average. I'm not average. And you aren't either. And stop pretending to be. For real. It's getting old. Wow, it's getting more crisp. I'm starting to practice every day, and I can tell that my jaws and my muscles are starting to come back. And I'm also not scared to make mistakes. I realized when I first picked it up, I realized, oh man, I'm not as good as how I was in 6th grade. But then I had to say, well, you haven't really played since 6th grade, so why do you expect yourself to be so not rusty? And are you just doing this for something? Like, are you trying to prove something to them? Or are you just playing your clarinet and having fun and maybe inspiring them to pick up something that they used to? What is it? So much pressure. So when you take off the pressure and stop trying to prove something to somebody, you can just be in the moment and just play and not have to worry about it. I'm just playing, not for your approval, not for anything. We're just sitting here playing. This is the same way that I would be with one of my friends that I felt safe with. Even though I don't know you guys personally, and maybe you may not be safe. A lot of you, I know you've been with me and I feel very safe. I feel very safe here. But also I feel safe within myself to know that even if you did make fun of me right now, like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, I can own it. I'm not the best. But also, you're just being really cruel to make fun of me right now. That's the real issue. The real issue is not that I'm not that good. The real issue is that you felt the need to be mean to me for no reason when I'm literally doing nothing. So that says a lot about how you feel about yourself. That's how I see it now. And that's what gives me the confidence and the peace to just do what I want to do. Because I know the truth. And since I know the truth, I'm not going to walk around acting like I don't know the truth, because not knowing the truth is what made me feel so much pain in the past. So now that I'm blessed with knowing the truth, I'm going to act like I know the truth. I love you too, Jen. Since you first came out, I never forget when we did your first reading and where you're at and your energy now. Jen, your energy stuck out to me because you were very much in that energy of just wanting the ex back, and you wanted to soothe yourself. You met me in a moment where you needed to be soothed, and I'm so glad that we crossed paths at that time, because I was like, going back is not the answer, and you know that. You just wanted someone to see you, you wanted to feel soothed, you wanted to know that everything was going to be okay, and now just feeling your energy and how you are now and how you talk about yourself now is so different, and I'm just so proud of you. And I know I've never really met you or really talked to you for a long time, but like where your energy's at now, and I know you didn't ask for a reading, so sorry. I know you didn't ask for a reading. You see what I'm talking about? But I feel the energy. I just have to give credit where it's due. The energy when you first came into my lives, like a year and a half ago, 2 years, I don't even know how long it's been now, but now the energy that you're in now is crazy. Like, wow, how much you have healed and surrendered and noticed your worth and just stopped chasing people. Oh my gosh, you were such in that chasing energy when I first met you. And I was like, girl, do you not see who you are? Like, what the fuck? You're Jen. I need you to look in the mirror and be like, I'm motherfucking Jen. Bitch, what are we doing? I'm not chasing nobody. Dust this shit off. What the fuck? And then you did. And it's like, beautiful. I love it. And like, yeah. You're welcome. I see you. And I know things have not been perfect since then. I'm not trying to sit here because I want you to feel authentic in what I'm saying. I know that things have not been perfect. I know that you've done things and all this stuff, but you're in a much different place, and that we have to give credit where it's due. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for honesty. We're looking for truth. We're looking for no one's sitting here holding me accountable and I'm holding myself accountable. We're looking at who you are when no one's looking. Who are you when no one's looking? What do you do when you're not getting validated and praised? And that's something that you've really sat with, and that's something that you've really leveled up in. So go, Jen. Everybody send some love to Jen today. Yeah. Send some love to Jen. We have to give credit when it's due, especially for my people that have been with me for a long time. I have to, sometimes because you're in it and you see yourself every day, you don't recognize how much growth, but I recognize it. I feel it. I see it. So I just feel like you needed to hear that today. So I love you and I'm proud of you. And thank you for being here and supporting me all the time. It really means a lot to me, even in the times where I disappear for months and you still come back and you still show up and you still praise me and do the things. And it really, not praise, I don't like that word. You still recognize me. I don't like the word praise, but you recognize me and I appreciate that. No, I have to say it because I know that I'm here and I have ADHD, so I can't really talk to you guys as much in here because I'm trying to deliver the messages. But like, I need you guys to know, especially those of you, Mary, I've seen you for such a long time. Francis, you've been here for such a long time. It doesn't go unnoticed. Leo over here, Levi over here, you've been here, you show up. Like, who would I be talking to if you guys didn't show up? What would I be doing if you didn't believe in me and do the things and book the readings and do the stuff? Like, no, I'm not going to sit here and just talk about it's all on me. No, you guys book the things and you come to the stuff and you believe in me. And even though you get a lot from my lives, and I know that you do, my lives are free. It just takes your time. You say, no, I'm going to get your book, or no, I'm going to book a coaching call, or no, I want to go deeper. That shows like, hey, I'm not just here taking, I'm also giving too. And not that if you don't book it, that I feel like you're just taking, but I'm just saying that like that give and take is something that has allowed me to continue showing up here. I would not be able to do this just being able to give if you guys didn't give back to me and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to sign up with you, or this, that. That is beautiful. Like, it means a lot to me. This is how businesses work. And so just thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for showing up. And also thank you for still continuing to come back, even though I haven't been as consistent these last couple of years because of my own stuff. You know, I've carried a lot of guilt on not showing up every single day on perfect time, but I've had to realize, girl, you're grieving, your dad died, you're healing, all these things. Like, you got to allow yourself to be human too. They want to see the human part of you. And maybe these 4 months off that you're not coming on here every 4 months, they're being forced to really sit in it. They're being forced to really do it. Take what they're learning from you and apply it in real life. And that's why I love when you guys come to me months later and you're like, hey, oh my God, like a year ago in your live, you said this and now I'm doing this. And I'm like, you guys, it blows me away. It really does. And when you come up to me and you're like, Kristen, you did a reading for me a year ago and you said that I was going to be doing this. And quite frankly, I don't remember a lot of them. Some of the readings I really do remember because they stand out for me. But some of you guys, when you do readings with me, I don't remember every single detail. I talk to a lot of people, right? But you guys do, and you write it down. And you know how good it makes me feel when you come to me a year later or something. You're like, Kristen, you did a reading for me a year ago and you said I was going to be moving. I needed to do this, do that. And I have to tell you, every single thing is coming into alignment. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, it's so cool to see. Not only that, like, it's just validating that these things I'm picking up on are really something I'm picking up on, so it helps me be more confident in my gifts, but it also is just so beautiful that you actually did the things. Like, you actually did it. Like, that's what makes me the most happy. Not just the validation, oh, I told you so, or I was right. Who gives a fuck? The fact that you did it. The fact that you get it. The fact that you actually did it. That's what brings me so much joy. That and you wanted to share it with me a year later. Because I do, in a lot of the sessions, I'll be like, let me know when you start doing it. Let me know when you start doing this. I'll do it, and I'll say it in the future. Like, let me know when you have that interview with Jim Carrey. And then some of it, it'll be 6 months. Some of you will be a year. Some of you, it'll be 2 years. And you will come to me, and you're like, I did it. I left the marriage. I started this business, and I'm already starting to make money. I fucking did it. The world is more in alignment now. The world is a little more in alignment now. The frequency is a little bit higher now. The frequency is a little bit higher now. Yep. Because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're no longer not in alignment at that dead-end job that was killing your soul. So your happiness is contributing to the collective, babe. Your happiness is contributing to the collective, just like your gossiping was, just like your sadness was, just like your resentment was, just like your anger was. So the way that you were pointing fingers at all these things, you were really pointing fingers back at yourself, because what were you doing to contribute raising the conscious collective? What were you doing still driving to that dead-end job, complaining every single day about how much you fucking hate it? What were you doing talking to your friends every day about how you can't stand your partner, but you're not willing to do anything about it? All you're doing is adding low vibrational frequency to the conscious collective, but not doing anything. So before you point fingers talking about this person and what they're doing on such a large scale, look at what you're doing on the scale that you're on right now, because you are making an impact in your immediate environment, and your energy is transcending to the entire collective, whether you want to recognize that, believe that or not. We are all connected. And if we weren't, then I wouldn't be feeling what I'm feeling right now based on what's going on in the world if we were all connected. Because I am not the one that's being physically grabbed off the street right now, but I feel like I am. I'm in the anxious energy as if I am. You might as well, no, let me say that, but I might as well be me. I do feel it because I know that I am not exempt from what's happening right now. And a lot of white people have waken up to the fact that they're not exempt either. I had to say it, and I'm going to say it. So yeah, what's happening collectively does impact me as much as I want to try to be numb to it and ignore it. It does. So yeah, I am going to do my best to try to do what I can. Because I can't sit here and say, look at these people, and it's all these people that are not in alignment, and it's all these people that are just not happy with themselves. That's why we all have to suffer. You're not happy with yourself either. Stop projecting and start doing what you need to do to be happy in your life, and that will trickle. You know that once you start healing, the people around you start healing. You know the trickle effect. You know the ripple effect that you cause. People have already started leveling up because of you. People have already started changing because of you. Hi, Aaron. Hi, G. People have already started changing because of you, and you know it. You have seen little things. You have seen people change around you. You've seen it. You do have an impact. People are talking differently about themselves because you're talking differently about yourself. People are having more boundaries within themselves because you are having boundaries more within yourself. You're forcing other people to look at parts that they haven't wanted to look at because you're finally looking at the parts within yourself that you hadn't wanted to look like. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It is inevitable for people to not see themselves, for people to see themselves around you, the more honest that you get. Now, some people may run away from what they see, and that's where you see the disconnection, and this is where you see that you're outgrowing people, and this is where you see that people may not like you as much anymore because what they see is uncomfortable, what they see they may not like, and that doesn't mean that what they see is wrong. It doesn't mean that what they see is not true. It just means that what they're seeing is they're not ready for the truth. They don't want to see it. They're not capable of feeling it because you know the repercussions that come with allowing yourself to go through these feelings. You know what it is. So don't act crazy when someone is running from it. You ran from it for so long because you saw how it took you the fuck out. You were depressed. You were laying up. You were hopeless. There were times where you didn't think you were going to make it because the feelings were so overwhelming. You lost money. Some of you were fired from your job because you couldn't keep up anymore. You know the repercussions that come with feeling. This is why people avoid it for so long, especially people who have families and who have shit to lose. Like their house. So I understand why people don't want to do the work, and we have to get to a safe space for us to finally let it out. And for me, it wasn't until I won a settlement and had $250,000 I did a settlement because I said no, and I went to California and someone tried to wrongfully terminate me. And I said, you're not going to fucking terminate me for speaking the truth. I've never done this in my life, but maybe this is the first time and this is something within me. I don't know, but I got wrongfully terminated. And I talk about this in my podcast, how I took the leap of faith. So if you want to know how I got here and what was my safe place, it was me leaving corporate America in 2018 with $10,000 in my account. And if you know, I moved to LA and $10,000 is about 2 months worth of bills. So I moved and I said, I'm going to make it work. I cannot work for corporate America no more. I'm tired of this shit. I want to get my license in personal training and I'm going to become a personal trainer. And that's what I did. I rented my house out. I quit my corporate job and then I went to LA to work for myself. But then when I got there, I got scared. I saw the real prices and the taxes and the state taxes. I was like, oh my God, people are not kidding. California's no motherfucking joke. I don't know if I can do it. And it scared me. So then I got into a fitness job working for somebody else, like for a gym, which is what I knew I didn't want to do. I said, no matter what I do, whether I'm a personal trainer, whatever it is, I have to march to the beat of my own drum. And I knew that's what it was, but I got scared and I went back into a pattern of what I knew. And so even though I was doing something that was more in alignment, I wasn't doing banking anymore, but I was doing personal training. I knew that I still was not supposed to work for somebody else. And my spirit team knew that. And they're like, all right, she's going to abandon herself when she gets to LA. We already know that she's going to do this. She's going to be scared of not knowing how to have these payment structures. She's going to be so used to working for somebody, so used for someone telling her worth. She's so used to people telling her how much to work and when to work that she's going to fall right back into it when she gets to LA, which I did. But it was by design, because while I was working at this gym, I was wrongfully terminated because I called out the manager for using the N-word in front of me and 2 other Black people that were working at the gym and the customers. I didn't feel like I should have to work in a hostile environment where people felt comfortable enough to say that, among other things that he did. And so after I called it out, they made it seem like they were doing a real investigation. And then after a week of the manager being on probation, they came back in, and me and the 3 Black people who made the complaint were fired. And I was stunned. I've never been fired from a job. And now what do you mean? I'm only 4 months into this whole dream in LA. And now I'm forced to work for myself. You see, the universe was like, nope, you're not meant to work for people. You think that you're going to be comfortable. They're going to fire you because you're not meant to be comfortable in this. You're meant to do this shit on your own. And not only are they meant to fire you, they're going to wrongfully terminate you because the money that you're going to get a year and a half from now, because it was on the brink of COVID and all the courts were closed, but you're going to wait for the money and you're going to sue them and you're going to make the money. And then when you get that money, you're going to go back home, back to the place where it all started 5 years later. 5 years later, you're going to go back home and you're going to finally heal back in Florida, because that's what you were running from in 2018. You were running from yourself. It wasn't that you needed to be in a different state. You needed to be in a different perspective and a different mind, but it took you leaving the state and doing something uncomfortable for you to grow. All the things that have happened, it's on my podcast if you want to listen to it. It's one of my favorite, How I Took the Leap of Faith twice. And when I got wrongfully terminated, I was standing on Rodeo Drive in Wilshire. Rodeo and Wilshire. For anybody who lives in California, you know where it is. I'm not going to say where it was, but I was standing there and I was like, I cannot believe that I'm in this year lease now. I have a year to go. I can't leave. I'm in LA and I have no fucking job. And then my spirit team was like, this is exactly why you came here, to build your business. So start fucking building it. And simultaneously, you're going to sue their ass. And then I ended up winning. After a year, I started suing them in 2000, at the end of 2019, April, May 2019, COVID happened. And then I didn't get the money until 2021. Until 2021. But I was making money. I was good. And my spirit team said no, because if I would have gotten the money like right away, I would have blown it on the boyfriend that I had that was the catalyst to my wake up. My spirit team knew my heart. My spirit team knew if we give her this money right now, she's going to try to blow it on this guy. And this guy is really the person that's just supposed to wake her up. We don't want her to spend a dime on this, even though I did spend money on him. Okay, I did spend money and he still owe me money. Okay, by the way, he still owe me money, but I let that go. So I went through this whole thing. The courts were closed. So the business was like, oh yeah, she's going to give up. She's going to give up because the courts are closed. And I said, nope, I'm making good money on my night. At this point, I'm in my own business. I'm doing my own thing. I'm a certified personal trainer, entrepreneur. I'm doing good right now. I'm going to wait on this. This is about the principle. This is not even just about the money. This is about the principle, because you need to be taught a lesson that you can't just talk to people like this and then fire me because I have a voice. No, I do have a voice and I'm going to use it. And so I did. And it wasn't until 2021 that I won. I won and I got it. And guess what? That was right in alignment of when me and the guy finally broke up, and I woke up and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I broke up. So I packed my Jeep up. I took my $250,000 and I drove my ass back home. And that's what I had to use for 2 years so I could get out of survival mode and build my business. It took me not knowing that though. It took me taking the leap of faith. I didn't know that I was going to go through that. You think that when I put my 2 weeks in at my banking job that I was going to sue somebody, that was the last thing that I thought was going to happen. I didn't know that I was going to go through a whole lawsuit. I never thought that I would be a person. I'm not the person that's always looking for a handout. Hold on, my leg is hurting. I'm not the person that's looking for a handout. I work for everything that I have. I've never been something that's someone's been handed something. Oh, let me just get this. But I was deserving of it. I used my voice. This is what happens. Closed mouths don't get fed. I could have easily just been like, oh, whatever. They said that to me and fuck it. No, I'm going to say they said that to me and I'm going to get that coin. Because I didn't know that this was going to be the catalyst to me being able to stay hype. Because you can't build in survival mode. It's hard. It's hard to build a business when you're in survival mode trying to make money to put a roof over your head. And so I know that some of you are in that situation, but you got to trust. This is why I'm telling you, you got to come up with a plan. I didn't just quit corporate America from one day to the next. I made a decision after 10 years that this was not for me. And so instead of going out, instead of traveling, I stopped traveling. I stopped going out to eat. I stopped doing all the dinners with everybody, and every single cent, every dollar I put into my savings account. And I said, I'm going to get to a place where I feel comfortable. $10,000 is where I feel comfortable. And I'm going to put these 2 weeks in, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I just trust. I'm going to find a place. It is going to work out. I had no idea that I was going to leave California with $250,000. Had no idea that was in the plan for me, because some things are not always revealed. And if I would have known that I was going to have some racist shit happen to me at a company, do you think I would have worked there? If God, universe, source would have revealed that, hey, after you leave corporate America, you're going to do this, and you're going to work at this job, and this person's going to use the N-word. If I knew that, why would I even go to a place like that? I wouldn't have, but I was supposed to. I was supposed to go. And this is why not everything in your plan is going to be revealed right away, but you still got to trust the guidance that you're being given to do the things even when you can't see everything. You're not going to be able to see every single move, but you still got to move. You have to trust. You have to have faith at some point. You cannot only have faith in things that you can see. Woo, woo. Golly, my knee falling over. Titties coming out, knee falling down. Golly. Shit. Lord. And so, yeah. And the catalyst for so many people in a lot. Yes. And Francis, you took the words out of my mouth. It was a lesson for me and a lesson for them. Damn, I do need to be more mindful. No, this shit is not going to tolerate it. And no, these people are not going to just put up with me talking any type of way. I bet they didn't say that again in the workplace. That was a real expensive lesson for you. I bet you're going to think twice before the words that you use, thinking that you are so entitled that you can talk any that kind of way because no one's going to do shit. And no, I'm not going to fight you, and I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. Your motherfucking pockets. Anyway. That's what I say to that. That's what I have to say about that. That's what I have to say about that. I laughed all the way to the bank. It was so good going there and doing, God, it was so good going there and putting that check in. Golly. Oh, when it came in the mail, my lawyers were just like, yes. Because we had to do the deposition. It was so good. I had to do the deposition via Zoom because of like all the court stuff that was happening and the COVID stuff. So I was on Zoom and I felt like I've been wanting to be a lawyer. There, we all have that lawyer moment. And I remember them trying to accuse me of something because they're always going to try to counter, just find reasons why you shouldn't do it and all these lies and all this shit. And they said, well, you were doing this while you were on the clock on the computer stuff. I said, well, there's something called metadata. So please pull up, since you're a lawyer, I know you've already done this. Please pull up the metadata and show me the timestamps of where I was working on something that wasn't pertinent to the business. That's something that you can prove. You don't need to ask me. You can prove that with the metadata. So go ahead and prove it. Go ahead and show me what I was doing so I can talk to you about it. And then he just said, no more questions. Yeah, exactly, because you're lying, bitch. And you're not with some stupid ass little black girl that you think I am. I don't know what the fuck you think, but I'm not that. And I'm going to stand up for myself. And you in this suit and tie doesn't scare me, because my truth will set me free, and I know what I'm doing, and I know I didn't do that shit. I didn't want this money. I just wanted you to fire the manager who was comfortable using the N-word. You made a decision. Okay? But thank you. It helped me and it helped me build this business. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So your priorities, this comes in. This comes in every single time. And you know it, every single day that I've been doing this these past couple weeks, this has been coming up, your priorities, and a lot of us in the conscious collective and in the collective know that our priorities have not been in alignment, and that's why we are not getting the results that we want. And it's time for us to stop throwing temper tantrums and pity parties, because we know that we're not doing the things that we need to do. There is a point where you feel like you are doing everything right and you're like, what the hell? Okay, I get it. But you know that you're not giving it your all, okay? And I'm just going to be here. There's sometimes that grace is toxic, baby. There's sometimes that grace is toxic, okay? Because there is a version of you that you know you could be doing more. You know you're meant for more. Sorry, this is dying. You know that you're meant for more, and you need to step into that, okay? You know that you're meant for more, and you need to step into it, and you know that you're giving the bare minimum. You know that you're breadcrumbing yourself, and you know that you're giving the bare minimum, okay? You know this. Stop acting like you don't know. All right? Stop acting like you don't know. Hold on. Okay? Stop acting like you don't know. You know that you need to tighten up. You know that you say one thing and you're consistent for 2 days and then you fall off. And that is frustrating for you because you know that it's going to take consistency, not perfection. But you're so this all or nothing. So I need you to be able to get out of this fucking mindset where Monday you do good. Tuesday you do good. Wednesday you give in, you fall off. So then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you fall off. No! Monday, you're doing good. Tuesday, you do good. Wednesday, you fall off, you give in to temptation, whatever. You sit with that. You say, okay, where was I at? Why did I do this? What was it? Okay. You give yourself grace. Tomorrow you get the fuck back up and you start over. Stop with this. Okay, well, now that I messed up on Tuesday, I might as well just go through the week and start on Monday. Stop with that shit. Stop. Stop with that. Stop with that. It's prolonging this. It's prolonging it. Okay, well, because I didn't do it on Monday, then the rest of the week has to be shit because all or nothing. No. Every day you're striving to be better. Every day. And you give yourself the grace that not every day is going to be perfect. The more that you let yourself fall off, the more that you fall back into the depression, and the more that it's easier for you to just stay here and never mind, and what does it matter? And it doesn't fucking matter anyway. You get into those modes where you start to really believe it, and it's scary. It's scary because it's so far from who you really are, but you're letting the darkness win. You really are. You're letting the darkness win, and you're letting the procrastination and like the effort that it takes. I don't even have the energy to put the effort into myself. I don't even have the energy to put the effort. Okay. Well, then you're going to be right here getting drained, because even when you're not putting the effort in, you're drained. So how are we going to get out of this? The draining is coming from the fact that you're bored and not in alignment, not even because you're doing so much, not even because you physically don't have the energy. You mentally don't have the energy. You mentally and emotionally don't have the energy. You don't have the energy to pretend that you care about this job anymore. You don't have the energy to drive to the job anymore. You don't even have the energy to get up and get dressed. You really are unrecognizable sometimes, and it's really fucking scary because you used to be someone that was up and doing it, but you realize you were playing a role. And now that you're getting more and more real with yourself, you're recognizing how unhappy you truly are, and it really makes you depressed because you miss how you used to be. You miss how you used to just be happy and smiling and just going through the motions, but that's a character. You were an NPC at that point. You're not an NPC anymore. And those happiness and those times of happiness, were they really, really, truly happy, built on the truth of what you really wanted, or was it built on the truth of what you thought you wanted? Because you're still in it. You're still at the job. So what's wrong? What's changed? You've changed, and you can't accept that. And it's really hard for you to accept that you're changing. But that's the whole point of this. Give yourself permission to evolve. Give yourself permission to not be interested in the same thing that you've been interested in for 20 years. Maybe it's just not exciting to you anymore. And that's okay. Damn. Like, can you not get tired of shit? It's just because you do this job for 20 years. Does it mean you have to do it for another 20 more? Can you not be interested in something else? Can you not just wake up and say, you know what? I want to change my whole fucking life path. Yeah, I know. And people think I'm crazy. I know. I've been a dentist for 20 years and I don't fucking want to do this anymore. Yeah, I actually want to be a poet. Yeah, I want to do slam poetry. I want to write. I want to be a writer. And everyone is crazy because I have this big house and I have 3 dental practices, and everyone tells me I should be happy. What are you doing? You have your wife, you have your kids, you have your husband, you got your partner, you got everything. You should be happy. You have the dentists, you're making $300,000+ a year. You guys are really comfortable even in this economy. What is wrong with you? Why would you give up all your dentists to go write books? This seems very careless and frivolous. What is wrong with you? Some people be talking to people like that when they say they want to change their life. Some people literally be scolding people. like scolding people as if it's you. It's because they're projecting their own fears. And how dare you have the courage to fucking change your whole life? I've been wanting to change my life for 20 years too. You don't see me up here being frivolous. You don't see me up here doing it. That's exactly why you're mad. That's exactly why you're mad, and you're not going to project your anger and fear on me and make me feel bad because I am willing to do it. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. I want to write books. I don't care about being a dentist anymore. You care more about my status than I fucking do. So maybe your proximity to me is what made you like me. And maybe you won't feel as happy or feel as comfortable or as whatever the fuck you get from this if you know that I'm not this status of owning all these businesses anymore. Is that why you liked me? Because you can't get no free cleanings no more? You mad because you not getting no free cleanings no more, bitch? What the fuck? I want to write books. You see what I'm saying? This is the truth of what people would really say. If people would really say it, if people would really be honest, if people would really be honest. So what if your partner does this and it makes you homeless? I do think that if people wake up to these things, yes, we need to be honest with ourselves, right? We need to be honest, but I do think that there is a level of integrity and respect and love that if someone has for you, where it's not just one day to the next. Oh, I woke up and realized this. You know, I think like it just depends on the person. And I think it depends on us really being able to take it serious and get on our feet, do what we need to do. You know, so I think that like you can't control people's character and the way that they do things. But I think that if it was me and I woke up to this and I was in a relationship and I realized that I need to go and I need to stop doing this as who I am as a person, I wouldn't just leave somebody high and dry. I would do my best to try to make sure that they are taken care of and like they can get on their feet. So I would, even if I knew today I want to get divorced today, I could still live with you 3 or 4 months to like figure it out. 6 months, like I could still do that while we, you know, I understand those things. Like I understand that people do that because like just because I realize that we're not compatible doesn't mean that I don't care about you and that I don't care about your well-being. But also like, all right, well, I know this may be daunting, but this is the time for you to get up, stand up for your rights. You got to get up and do the things. And I know that me wanting to make the move is the catalyst for you and it's uncomfortable, but you got to do it. And so I think that when we challenge ourselves to do these things, it also simultaneously challenges other people. And that's why you can see that like when one person, like for my example, I didn't want the breakup in 2021 with my partner. I really, really genuinely wanted to grow with him. I genuinely wanted to work through these things together, but he did not want to do that. And I tried so hard to force it and I tried so hard to just be okay with it, but it was triggering me. And I didn't have the strength to really disconnect from him. I didn't have the strength to give up on us. And so he did. He said, he's the one who said, I can't do it. I have to let you go. Like I have to let you go. Even though he was doing everything for me to do it. And I think that he wanted me to be the one because he knew how much I cared about him and how much I was willing to sacrifice. And he knew like, damn, this girl is really down for me and I'm not fucking down for her. And I think it was hurting his conscience because he was like, she's a good woman and I'm just not, I don't want this or whatever. And I can't be direct and tell her I don't want to be with her. That's what it was. And so finally he got to the point where he had to be direct and he had to say, I don't want to be with you. And I was crushed and I begged on my hands and knees. And I'm not proud of this. It was my abandonment wound. It wasn't because I knew that he was the love of my life and he was the best person for me. I knew that I deserved better. But it was the fact that he was the one making the decision, letting me go. After in the beginning, I felt all this stuff in the beginning that I didn't think that he was right for me. But I abandoned that and I ignored that because I wanted to be there for him and I could tell how lonely he was and we bonded over the trauma. And so it really made me upset that in the beginning I knew that I didn't even really want to be with him in that way. But I looked past it and I ended up falling for certain parts and I did end up really falling for him and saying, you know what? I am going to choose him. Even though in the beginning it was kind of rough, I'm going to choose this person. The more I've gotten to know about him, I think that he has such a beautiful spirit. And I know that there's some things that we need to work on, but I'm willing to work on that with him. I really genuinely felt that. And I never felt like that with anyone before. And so I was willing to put in the work and I was willing to see his bad behavior and say, okay, I see it. I see that you've cheated or emotionally or whatever. let's work on it. Like, if you stop right now, like I was willing, and I was surprised myself, because usually I'm like, oh no, if I find out someone's cheating, fuck that, it's over. But I realized the things that you're willing to sacrifice and deal with out of pain, out of wounding, out of wanting to be chosen. And so eventually I pushed him so far to the point where clearly I wasn't going anywhere, because I had such little respect for myself, that he finally broke up with me. And even though I wasn't the one who wanted it, it was the best thing that ever happened for me. And I couldn't see that the first 6 months. I was sick, you guys, sick. I just wanted him back. I just wanted him to recognize what he had let go of. When is he going to wake up? Like, please. Oh my gosh. Like, how is he going to let go of me? Like, I loved him. Like, everything he said he wanted, I'm doing it. I even looked past the bad behavior, like even the cheating. Like, I still accepted him with like one of the biggest things that I felt like I would never accept. I still saw the beauty, and I even know why he cheated, and I know why he's insecure. And I'm still even willing to look past it. Just stop hurting me. Just leave this person alone and just focus on me. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just focus on me. Let's focus on us, and let's just do it. That's all I want. I will let go of all this shit. I won't even hold a grudge. But no, that wasn't the path. The path was for me to choose myself. The path was like, why are you tolerating this? Why are you tolerating? Why is this the only person that you have in your mind that can ever give you anything? Why are you willing to put yourself in an anxious state where it's literally making you physically, mentally, emotionally sick? You are getting on drugs because of this. You are becoming a drug addict because of this. Your hair is falling out. Your skin is drying up. You are not sleeping. This is what love is? This is what love is to you? No, there's something wrong. This is not what love is. Come on, this can't be what love is. Maybe I've been conditioned to think that love is something different. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe this is me too. What is this? Why do I want him? Why do I really want him? No, I just want him to choose me. I don't want to be abandoned. And the thought of him choosing someone else makes me feel so fucking insignificant. It makes me feel so small. It makes me feel fucking worthless. It makes me feel like nothing about me is right. All the feelings that I've been trying to avoid with all the outfits and all the ways that I've had these false sense of confidence over my life, and wearing things that I wasn't even comfortable with, and doing things that I wasn't even comfortable doing just for someone to make me feel something. And here I am. I thought I found it in this person, and this person has made me feel the most love I've ever felt in my life. I have never been love bombed, and oh my gosh, it felt satiating. I didn't know how high you could feel from this love. But damn, the same person that made me feel like the biggest person on top of the world had the power to make me feel this fucking small within a matter of weeks. And that was astonishing to me. How did someone who made me feel so confident in myself also have the power to make me feel so fucking small? And then I realized that I allowed that. This is how I feel about myself. This is how I felt about myself. This was how I felt about myself. I did feel insignificant. I did feel small. I did feel insecure. I was extremely insecure. I still am working through insecurities. My brain does change when it starts to become a little more romantic. I do become possessive sometimes. I do automatically compare myself to other people sometimes. I do. Still. I do have those feelings where I want the person to be just obsessed with me. Don't even look in anybody's direction. That's the only thing. No, and I'm still working on those mindsets. I want you to be with me, and I don't even want to think that you're even thinking about someone else being beautiful. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to know even a fraction that you may be I don't want to know. Like, that used to scare me so bad. That truth used to scare the shit out of me. The fact that someone could be attracted to someone else other than me. Everyone was a threat to me. Everyone was a threat. It didn't matter. Even if they weren't flirting, even if they'd never even met before, that's how insignificant and how small I used to feel. I can admit it, because it's no longer where I'm at anymore, but I do feel those tinges when it comes up. And I know that when I get into a romantic relationship, there's going to be some things that I'm going to have to really work on and be honest about, because it's different when you're just friends and it's casual. But then when you start feeling like your feelings are involved and you start thinking about how you would feel if this person left you and how you would feel if this person cheated or betrayed you, you start getting really scared. And then some of us start going haywire and we start overcorrecting and starting to do stuff to make sure it doesn't happen. And that's when we self-sabotage. But let it happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You can't control someone's character. And don't you want to know who you're really dating? Don't you want to know who you're about to marry? And do you want to be with somebody that you have to be watching them 24/7 in order for them to stay loyal for you? What the fuck? That's tiring. Don't you want to be able to go on a girls trip and actually be with your girls because mentally you're not on the phone all fucking day? Put a heart in the chat if you've been this girl, and put a heart in the chat if you've been on a trip with this person where they are on their phone the whole time. We're on a girls trip, we're on a vacation, and they have to keep going out. I got to make a call. I got to do this. And it's different if you have children that you're checking up on, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the person who has never been away from their person, can't spend a day. They're so insecure. And you may think that it's because the man or the person is really trying to control them. No, it's really their separation anxiety and them not being able to relax and be present because they don't trust the environment back home. So they can't even be present in the environment that they're trying to create with the girls because their mind is back with the men. Have you been that person, or have you been around that person? I've been both. Definitely. Could not enjoy my time away from my partner because I did not trust him. And so then I have to ask myself, is this the relationship for me, where I literally can't even be away for 2 days without thinking you're going to go do something, meet somebody else? What the fuck? I can't even, that's not healthy. And why do we normalize that? And why do we try to find ways to be okay with that? It doesn't make sense. Own it. I don't feel safe. And it's not, you don't always have to have proof. This is why you have intuition. This is why you're gifted. This is why you have claircognizance, clairsentience, clairvoyance. Some of you guys dream about it. Some of y'all dream about the shit. You do. So put a heart in the chat if you've ever dreamed about something and it's happened. I have. You think that's just... Put a heart in the chat if you've ever dreamed something and it's happened. You think that's just... You don't think that's a gift? You think everybody just dreams about shit before it happens? Or while it's happening? No, that's clairvoyant, clear seeing. So what are you going to do with the seeing? What are you going to do with what you see? Even if you don't have the proof, but you feel it in your being. And this is why I'm so dysregulated. Look at it deeper. Look at it deeper. I'm having dreams about it. Every time I'm around this person, all I want to do is question them. I can't relax. My mind is never present. When we're watching a movie, I'm really thinking about who's texting them. Every time that we're hanging out and my peripheral, his phone goes off and I'm looking at the phone. And when he's in it, I'm not just thinking something normal. I'm thinking, oh, it's the woman. I would create scenarios. Hey, are you still with her? I wish you could be with me. When are you going to get rid of her? Those are the type of conversations that I would have in my head. Shut it, Nutella monkey. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. I appreciate it. We have someone who is wanting attention right now, you guys, and please don't give them negative attention. But we have someone who is really deeply craving attention. So they said, shut it, Nutella monkey. And I'm just assuming that you're referring to the fact that I'm black. And so Nutella is dark like chocolate and monkey is something that has been used derogatory against black people. So thank you for letting me know how you feel about me. But I'm here to say that I don't feel that about you. I don't. But yeah, if that's how you feel about me, I can't change that, nor do I want to. And I don't like Nutella that much. I really don't. I don't get the thing of it. And I actually think monkeys are really cute. But the way that you meant it was to hurt me, but it didn't. But I love you, and I hope that you feel better today. Can it be your energy that created it? Sorry, Austin, I was getting so far, and I didn't even know what we're talking about now. How did homegirl say? Maybe it's nothing, literally raising her voice. Yeah, you can create it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can create the whole scenarios too. It really can be nothing. Yeah, absolutely, Austin. So sometimes we really do create something out of nothing, and it's because you just can't fathom the fact that this person really is honest with you. You can't fathom the fact that this person really does love you. And I've been through that too. There's been certain situations, even with friends and people recently, where certain behaviors has come out, and I've been really triggered in the last few months because of what's been going on, and I projected that. I've been angry about my dad, and I projected that on some of my friends, and it doesn't make me feel good. And then when my friend was still like loving, and she was still just like, it's okay, like, I'm like, why are you like this? And I'll start breaking down crying, and she's like, what? Like what? And I'm like, why are you like this? I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm being mean to you, and I know that I am, and I know that I'm just projecting onto you, and you're still just being so kind to me. And she's like, you want me to be mean to you? I'm like, no. But like, oh, and it's just all the things. And like, that's me self-sabotaging. I'm like, I don't want to project onto you, and I don't want to take my anger out. And I know it's because you're like the closest person to me, but I don't want to be that. I don't want to use you as a punching bag because I know that you really love me. I don't want to do that. And you don't know how many moments I've had like that with my friends. Because I'm so aware now of my behavior that even if they don't say anything, I have to say it. The elephant in the room is too big. The elephant in the room is too big. You know? I love you guys. Hi, Francis. Hi, Aaron. Hi, all you guys. I just like to, you know that I love to be able to show you guys how you can handle it. If someone's going to call me a name or judge me on live, you know that I'm going to use that opportunity to show you guys that you can just roll it off your back. I don't see myself as I need to shut up and a Nutella monkey. I don't see myself as that. I see that as really immature and just someone from pain. And so why would I let that get under my skin and offend me and do all these things? It's immature, and it's coming from a place of that person really hurting, and that's not how I feel about myself. And so like, why would I give meaning to it? If I were to get mad and let it affect me, then that means that like, I think that some of it's true, because that is why people's words bother us. It's because we think that the part of it's true, or we just can't believe that people could be so offensive. But I do believe it. I've seen it every day. And maybe what's happening in this country is making me more desensitized to this stuff. Because maybe a version of me would have went crazy when someone said that like 10 years ago. But I am getting desensitized to the way that people hate, not in a way that I just don't care about it, but in a way that it doesn't like knock me off my thing where I'm out for a week because someone said something, because I just can't believe how people are just so hateful. I can believe it. I see it every single day. It's a reality that I'm accepting more and more. And that's why I've been out for the last 5 months. It took me these months to really, really fully accept that people feel this way about me. Yeah. I am intuitive, and I can feel when people are speaking of me. I don't hear the exact words, but I hear the tone. I can also feel if my husband starts separating his energy from me and speaking to others. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, you can feel that for sure. Hypervigilance, all that. Mm-hmm. Those things that once was a survival tactic, they now become your superpower, but you have to learn how to regulate it, because sometimes we can think that there's always something going on, so we can create this intuition. We have to discern between, is this something that I'm really truly feeling, or is this a story that I'm creating to fit a self-fulfilling prophecy that I have deep down? Is this intuition something that I'm really truly feeling right now? Or am I creating a story to fit the self-fulfilling prophecy that no one could ever love me? No one could ever stay true to me. No one will ever abandon me. Because remember, you fear the unknown. You fear the unknown. And the unknown for you is that someone can love you. The unknown for you is someone does show up for you and be all the things that you have ever dreamed of. But what's more common for you is someone leaving you. What's more common for you is someone abandoning you. What's more common for you is someone betraying you. And so you're always going to be on that defense until someone shows you otherwise. Until you start to trust yourself to choose people better. Because it's not only you wanting to be chosen by someone, you're choosing people that are not right for you either. You're choosing people that you can fix and heal, because you have a deep-rooted belief that if you're not adding value to someone's life in that way, that you're not valuable. So you choose projects because at least you can fixate and focus on their shit, and you're not the only one that just has shit. And that's why some of you could feel really threatened when someone does start to heal and they're like, hey, I kind of got it from here. Thank you for helping me, but I'm kind of doing things on my own. You can feel threatened the same way that your mom and dad feel when you try to disconnect from them. Hey, dad, hey, mom, thank you for preparing me, but I got it from here. I know you told me to stay away from these type of people, but I've actually experienced these people on my own, and these people are not anything like you told me. And so even though you said that I should stay away from black men, I've actually had really beautiful experiences with black men, and I'm going to date black men. What you told me about black people wasn't true. I allowed myself to see it for myself. And so I'm going to make decisions based on what I've experienced, not just what you're telling me. That's someone who has their own mind. And you see what I'm saying? You see the difference? Well, my dad said if I bring anybody who looks like that home, even though I haven't had these experiences with black people. My dad said if I bring a black guy home, he's going to disown me because he said they all are nothing but trouble. But actually, the experiences I've had with black men have been the opposite of that. So what do? Do I choose dad or do I choose myself? Literally, it's that black and white once you get to the root of it. Do I believe what dad's saying, or do I allow myself to have my own human experiences and see how black men treat me for myself? And then also, I'm aware enough to not stereotype a whole population of people just based on my 3, 4, 5 experiences. You know? But yeah. But most people choose dad. Most people choose the family. Most people choose belonging to a group of people that they actually deep down don't even want to belong to anymore. Just because you're my family doesn't mean I want to belong to all the shit that goes on in here. Just because we're blood doesn't mean I have to agree with everything. I don't think like you, and I would really love to have the space to have my own mind, okay? Just because these are your experiences with these particular people, these are not mine, and I wish that you wouldn't project that so that I'm just waking up already hating people that I have no fucking idea about. That would be great. That would be great if you allowed me to have my own mind and to find my own conclusions without you trying to project. And I know that you're trying to keep me safe because maybe you did have one experience with somebody that made you like this. But if that was the case, then I should never talk to a man again. I should never talk to a woman again. I should stay completely in solitude because men, women, children, dogs, people have hurt me. There's a dog that bit me, so I guess I'm never going to be around a dog. I fell off horseback riding, so I guess I'm never going to ride a horse. A man cheated on me, so I guess all men cheat. All these fallacies are what's keeping you in this delusion. It's not true. And it's also taking away your role in the situation because you're the common denominator in all these situations that you keep talking about. All men cheat and all men do this. Okay, you're always the common denominator in these relationships. Why? Why? Why do you always find yourself in this position? What is it that you're still seeking? What is it that you're not looking at? Is it that they're always tricking you? Everybody's tricking you. Every single person is just tricking you, deceiving you. Every single person, it's just coming out of left field. Come on. Come on. Come on. This plays deeper into the fact that you are settling. This plays deeper in the fact that this is what you saw growing up. This plays deeper into the fact that this is what you feel you deserve. This plays deeper in the fact that you're also a cheater. This plays deeper in the fact to something else. It's not just what it is, okay? There's something. There's something that you're missing. There's something that you're not looking at. And we got to look at it a little bit deeper. Okay? Wow. All right, it's about that time. Woo, my leg is throbbing, keeping it in this position. Oh my gosh, it's about that time. What, I gotta get up and walk around. Woo, so ready for my knee to heal, y'all. So ready for this knee to heal. It's getting there. The scab is getting better and better. It's about to fall off. Yeah, the stitches are out. By the way, guess how much it was to take my stitches out with my new healthcare? I had a copay of $1,250 was my copay to take my stitches out, 5 minutes. So don't tell me that these things are not, these subsidies and this insurance and this healthcare shit is not impacting you. It was when the nurse told me, $1,250 copay that I'm supposed to pay before I leave. So don't tell me, guys, and I have Blue Cross Blue Shield Marketplace, like because I'm a business owner and I don't, this is what the subsidies helped me. The subsidies helped me have affordable health care. This is why we have that Affordable Health Care Act. Sorry, I'm like so sore. Body. We have that Affordable Health Care Act, and now whatever's been reversed. When I initially fell and needed to get the stitches on December 16th is when I fell. I had zero copay. Now we go over into 2026, January, I think it was like January 2nd. I went to the hospital I went to, get the stitches out. $1,250 copay. And the nurse felt so ashamed. You could tell the nurse felt so embarrassed to tell me. She was just like, I can't believe this shit. So yeah, I just picked my wedgie. Just want to let you guys know. Sometimes when you're out and you're standing there and you have to pick your wedgie, you just pick it, See how we went from that to that? It's just random shit. But that was the copay, and when you have a wedgie, pick it. Okay? Don't be up here and uncomfortable in front of people just because you're ashamed to get the underwear out of your ass. Okay? Just pick it out and keep it moving. This is exposure therapy. All right? Pick it out and keep it moving, because you're not the only one who's had underwear riding up your crack. You see? Exposure therapy. All right? Why am I like this? All right, y'all, I gotta go. Oh, Lord, this leg. Gosh. All right, y'all, I love you so much, and it feels really good. It feels really good to just be myself. Okay? It feels really good. So let's close it out. I hope you enjoyed that selection. It's a piece I've been working on. All right. Okay, I love you guys. I will see you later. Make sure you guys sign up for my workshop at the end of the month. We're going to be diving deeper into these themes of shadow work. You will leave the workshop knowing what shadows that you're dealing with right now. You will know the 5 steps on what it takes to integrate. You will have a space to open up and be real about your shadows. And you will also have examples and like-minded people make you feel less alone in the shadow. Because in order to heal, we got to bring the shame to the light, because shame cannot survive in the light. Did you hear me? Shame cannot survive in the light. Shame cannot survive in the light. Hey, shame cannot survive in the light. Okay? So once you bring it up and say, yep, I did this. Yep, I said it. Yep, I did it. And I'm not proud of it, or I am proud of it, or I'm done being ashamed of it. And so here it is. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Copay. Yeah. I know. I should have taken my own stitches out, Austin. I wish I would have known. I was just trying to do the right thing. I didn't want to take it out with the scissors that I be cutting stuff with the house. I thought I maybe need to get some better scissors, and maybe I don't want my leg to fall off, so I was trying to do what's right. But damn, if I would have known, I would have just went and bought some surgical scissors. You better know I'm about to do my own shit next time. Oh, pop, pop, pull, pull. I could have saved $12.50. All right? Okay, I didn't know. I said, when I looked at the process, oh, you mean this is all I need to do is literally just cut this bitch? I just didn't want my leg to fall off. I didn't know what the stitch was holding together. Maybe I cut something and my knee fell off. I never had it before. All right. I didn't want my leg to fall off. So let me not cut something that's holding everything together. I don't know. All right, y'all. Let me go and get crazy. All right. I love you guys. And I will see you mañana. Bye. I'll see you mañana. Love y'all. Hi, Adeline. What's up, girl? It's good to see you. Hi, Aaron. All Things Sensory. I love your name. All Things Sensory. I love your name on here, babe. Good to see you. Good to talk to you guys. Just want to sit here. Instagram's already gone. It's just us. Instagram's already gone. It's just us how it used to be. They can't hear us no more. It's just me and y'all. I let go of Instagram. How you doing? How you doing? I miss y'all. Why am I so goofy? Okay, I need to go eat. All right, I love you. I love you guys. I'm gonna see you. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And Aaron, I wrote you back the other day. I wrote you back yesterday. I finally wrote you back. It took me 2 months, and thank you for not holding it against me. Your girl's been going through it, but I'm coming out of it. Okay, so Aaron, if you saw that message, I wrote you back yesterday after 2 months. Okay, I was drowning, bitch. I was drowning, but I'm coming out. Okay, I wrote you back. All right, I love you. I will see you guys later.